Hey, it's 2026. We haven't played D&D since last year. Obligatory joke out of the way. Um, we'll do... I'll do like a bit of a recap going back like a couple of sessions. I won't do super detail because of that, but we'll sort of just reestablish why we're here and what's going on. Um, you guys are on your field trip as part of your education at Empress Academy. You are on this away mission that has brought you to the border between Trismere and Heaven's Pillar. Um, Along with your instructor, Axel, who, to some degree, you are supposed to be assisting, but ultimately he's sort of given you control and he's the one that's in sort of the advisory assisting role. Although ultimately the fight, like, he has the ability to overrule you at any point, although I don't really think he's had to so far. Um, Upon arriving in this new settlement, you guys did some investigation and found out that there were V-Rexes that were acting far too intelligently for normal miasmic monsters. And upon investigation, you found out there was some odd interaction with the magical trees of Heaven's Pillar. One of them was eating it. With the help of fair folk, you were able to disconnect it from the tree and sort of kill it, along with some help with the 3T's military. And that sort of concluded your primary objective in the area. But it was also kind of your cover story. Axel had been dispatched by Elias to this area in order to look into artifacts that were supposed to be stored at a temple of the goddess. Having traveled up the mountain with the Spit Peak, finding more and more sort of like giant ruins along the way, you discover the Astropath, which is now being used as a temple. A sort of building that's designed to let you channel your spirit into the stars. The people that are residing here are off searching the cosmos for the missing goddess. Having investigated around and found some odd stuff, but mostly found cooperation on the side of Sister Sympathy, the person in charge here, you guys made your way into a vault via a puzzle involving different people from different lands needing to sort of come together in the doorway itself. You split up the contents of the vault between yourself and Sister Sympathy, sort of making a deal with the local leader as to like, hey, you wouldn't have got this open without us. Axel was interested to note that one object that Elias mentioned in particular, kind of the reason he was dispatched here, was a staff or a rod or something like that, which was described as having a star, a stellar object affixed at the end of it. Seeing that nothing was attached to the end of it, you guys did a little bit more investigation and found a hidden set of stairs that head down. But there was one hiccup. There is an illusion which I believe has now been dispelled by Sister Sympathy after a brief conversation, but there is a staircase that heads down, and over the top of the staircase is a barrier of true magic, an actual sort of old school spell that was cast somewhere around either the final days of the goddess or the last generation after the goddess left. And I think that's where we left off. You guys were gathered around the sort of like area where the barrier is. You're with Sister Sympathy, and I don't know, you're considering whether to head down or not.
For flavor reasons, I believe Adira had also just heard the voice of her, a poor imitation of her mother's voice.
Yeah.
That sounded a lot colder than her mother would sound like.
I think it was like spot on in terms of like actual voice, but like the tone and how the words were like, oh, that's not you.
It's like monotone. There's no rhythm to the words. It's word, word, word. Like there's like no sense of like how words flow with grammar or anything like that. Yeah. Axel will take his like backpack and set it down, kneeling over the opening and sort of taking a look down into the stairs. And I think Uther had shone a light down it as well. And it sort of, it doesn't like completely swallow the light, but you get the feeling that the light should illuminate more than it is. It's sort of like dissipating quicker into the dark down there. But it's like a staircase that seems to head down. Is there anything anyone would like to do?
Looks between each member of the class and asks, what do we do?
I'm uncertain here. Axel, is this still within the parameters of our mission?
Axel will nod and kind of look at you and say, we've recovered a good many artifacts. I think it's fair to say we could stop here, but Elias did send me here for one object in particular, and it's still not among the possessions we have.
Should we go with the rest of our gear then?
Axel looks at Sympathy, who thinks for a moment and then gives a slow nod of approval. And she says, if you are willing to go down into the depths, it is my belief that something is sealed away down there. It would not be safe to proceed without weapons, and if you are to prevail against it, it would solve a problem for us. I do not see why any of the others would be opposed to you taking this on.
I'll go back to the room and pick up Arkia. I think it would also be safe that when we do head down, don't let anyone wander in through here, just in case.
Take someone else with you, Atira. At least two of you should go for the things.
I look expectantly at the rest of the group.
I will pass the evil and good crystal to Axel, and I guess I will go with Eddie.
Okay. Takes the crystal. Dafer, Clara, and Caliban, you're sort of there as he's kneeling over the opening crystal in hand. You can see he's considering using it, but he puts his hand against the barrier, and you can see it's almost see-through to a degree, but once he places his hand against it, it sort of like glows this... It's odd. Most magical constructs have that purplish crystal color, but the color that kind of flares up as he brings his hand close is more like a silver or a white that the barrier seems to be made of, like a purer light color, as it were. Not like a radiance so much as like a silver flame in a sense, yeah. It says, not sure the spell would penetrate this. I don't think it's worth using it.
I'm gonna go on I'm gonna go on a limb and assume this is so far out of normal school mission territory that I am somewhat entitled to just ask you questions about this at this point. Do you have experience with these kinds of barriers, or what kind of, like, anything that could help shape our expectations or preparations?
It's not my first time seeing a true magic barrier, but it's my first time interacting with one. When I was training under Grimm, there was a sort of vault that he has. It was sealed off by something similar to this. But I never went in or interacted with it beyond seeing it from a distance at times.
just to be on the safe side, Sam, given my background, like it's unlikely that we have whatever this is about in the school curriculum, and I don't think I have the narrative justification to know anything about this given my background. Would that assessment be correct?
About true magic, about this barrier. I'm not sure what the topic is.
About knowing anything about an entity that has the properties that we were described. The description of from Clara in terms of visual, how it behaved in combination with Mr. Cooper, like Brother Cooper, and how it what do you call it, haunted him. Something that was sealed away with through magic, or entities in general sealed away with through magic.
You can give me a history check. It's a very difficult history check, but you can give me one.
Okay. Oh, okay. I would have assumed disadvantage, but if it's, I assume the high DC makes up for that.
The high DC is what you're fighting against here. Yeah.
Okay, I should have +1d4 on this. 19.
Yeah, on a 19, the issue is day first, like, you know of entities and creatures that there are many stories about things being sealed away. In terms of true magic, I mean, every story that comes from, like, the mythological age of the goddess involves true magic, right? Like, you've got no specific thing you can latch onto, and that's the problem you have here, day first. Like, it could be, you know, it could be a spirit, it could be a miasmic monster for all you know. You're not sure exactly when they first sort of, like, came into being. You know, when stories of them sort of popping up in Zemes, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's when it started, right? Like, so, unfortunately, it's just too wide a field to narrow down. Axel will trace his fingers along, like, the edge of the stairway and kind of brush away some old dust and, like, where stone is worn down, sort of filled in some grooves. He says, there are markings here. It looks crudely cut, like with a dagger or something sharp. I think it's Old Zemesian. I can't read it myself, but I recognize some of the words from some old texts.
Sebastian, Caliban, you have a job.
And he looks over his shoulder at you, Caliban. You speak High Zemes?
I believe Caliban is dead.
just fallen over in a corner.
Oh, I forgot that I was on mute. I forgot that I was muted.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Caliban does speak High Zemes.
Do you speak the old version?
How historically apart from Old Zemes is High Zemes that can be etymologically extracted?
Give me a history check, Caliban.
Give me 1 sec.
Zemesian is mostly like a fractured dialect of Celestial. So the further back you go, the closer it gets to Celestial. And I think you do know Celestial as well, Caliban. So, like, even older dialects you would have some chance with in this case.
So just like combining some fractures of High Zemes and Celestial.
Yes, you would probably be able to muddle your way through an older dialect of it, you think?
So if I'm able to do so, I'm not sure what adding the 1d4 would do, but
yeah, for now, don't worry about that. But this time, give me an intelligence check with advantage, and you can add the 1d4 to that. I guess we don't need the 1d4, actually. Welcome to 2026, by the way, everyone. I just turned the natural 1 toggle on for everyone, so let's see how that goes for us all. Taking a look at what's been written here, Caliban, there's a mixture of problems. 1, it's old and it's worn, and 2, the person who carved this did it, like, crudely with something that wasn't meant to scratch stuff into stone. What you can make out is that some kind of light is the key to opening the barrier, but there's a set of instructions that's doubled up that confuse you, Caliban. It's like, light will open the door, and then it says, light will open the door again, like, but the phrasing is different. You just can't work out, like, what the exact meaning of this second phrase is. It's like it repeats itself with different words.
I see. I relay this to the rest of the group, and I just, like, sort of shrug my shoulders, like, yeah, no, I'm shit out of luck.
Why I asked. Can you move out the way, please? Because Clara does speak Old Zemessian.
Okay. Give me...
You...
That's why I asked!
Give me another intelligence check with advantage, please, Clara. The D4 as well. I told you the toggle's on.
Wait,
Oh my
wait,
God.
wait,
I'm just second one.
wait, hold on.
It's a 16.
16. Most of the words, as I said before, are worn. However, the specific like word Caliban's struggling with, what you can tell is the first sentence is like, light will open the door, and then the second one is, bright light will break the door.
Great, we need medium light.
I mean, we do have, like, Uther does have a dagger that sends light if you interpreted it, like, freely. It doesn't count as bright light.
Axel looks at it and says, it certainly didn't open for Uther's light.
Hmm. Okay, you know the language, Clara. Could light be used here in a metaphorical way, or is it actually speaking about light?
I think Clara and Caliban looking at it, you'd be able to tell that it means light in a literal sense, but there is a modifier before light that's worn and like smoothed away. There's like some descriptor that's missing from the light itself. So it is a special kind of light, or maybe like a color of light, or something like that, but that's what's missing from the actual inscription that you don't have access to.
I mean, color of light makes the most sense initially.
I'm more inclined to think it would be a type, like a source,
Like sunlight versus flame light versus whatever.
versus angel light. It's
That
old.
would be an
This is
absolute-
really old.
That would be an absolute pain to procure, though, so I don't want to believe this.
Yeah, it would be. Except one of our classmates has angel wings.
Dayford turns to Caliban. Right.
Or
What? Can he turn a light bulb on?
Axel looks at you, Caliban, and is like, is it something you can control? Something you can call up at a moment's notice? I've obviously...
The celestial wings?
He nods.
I guess it's worth a try.
We'll hold off for now. We'll wait for the others. There's no point breaching the door until we have all of our gear, at least. Adhira and Uther heading straight back to the dormitory rooms you guys had?
Yeah.
Okay. You move sort of like... I assume at like an even pace. You're not like dashing through. You're just kind of like walking with intent, I guess is how I would describe it, back to the dormitories.
Yeah, try not to look like there's a reason to panic going on.
Okay. Both of you give me perception checks.
Uh-oh.
$17. 6.
Oof. Turn off the one modifiers.
I will not. Okay, 1 second. Adhira. I think it catches your eye because, how do I put it? You had more of a run-in with her. You see Sister Empress, and she has her hand on a man's shoulder, one of the, like, monks, one of the brothers that's here. Give me an insight check, Tira.
What is this lady up to?
18. The guy she has, like, she's talking to, she has her eyes, like, fixed on him. But he can't hold her gaze whatsoever. You notice his eyes are quite bleary. He looks like he hasn't really slept. He's in, like, a little bit of a panic state. And she's speaking to him in, like, not in a calming way, but like an authoritative, like, you will concentrate and you will tell me what happened. And you can tell that she's interrogating this man under the guise of not consoling, but, like, trying to bring him peace, shall we say, whereas he seems quite agitated. And that's in, like, the main hall with, like, everyone around, although they've got quite a wide berth. Everyone else is, like, avoiding them to a degree, giving them space. They are speaking in a way that it makes it hard to overhear them as well. They're like, like when two people whisper, but it's like a loud whisper. It's like a whisper shout that they're almost sort of like speaking to each other in. Which, if you were closer, would be easier to hear, but in this huge space, it sort of gets lost in the other noises of people shuffling around and things happening, right? And it sort of echoes out of existence from a distance. I don't know whether you want to try and get closer or whether you just want to get to your stuff.
Adhira is going to sort of slow down, falter, and turn to Uther and say, go on ahead, I'll catch up here in a second.
Don't start these fights. See how if you do.
Stay out of trouble.
What's the move, Itir?
She is going to sort of try and move around Everest, almost in the same way she might move around somebody she was about to pickpocket. But it's mostly using her focus on this poor man against her. And I'm just going to get close enough to pick up a few seconds of conversation before moving on.
Give me a stealth check first. I will roll against a 12.
It's a disadvantage.
What's at disadvantage?
Oh, okay.
What?
Oh, is she going to be at disadvantage because she's focused on this man?
No, because she's not focused beyond the point of, like, keeping an eye on everyone else around her, so... As you get closer, you hear a snippet of him speaking, which is... I don't know, she could see it. And then Everest gives him a look of, like, shut up. Like, just like her eyes, like, wide and little, and he sort of recoils slightly in a sense of like, I'm about to get like physically hurt or something like that. And then Everest's eyes, without her head turning, they're like swivel almost to the very corners of her eyes so that she's looking like at the peak of her periphery vision straight at you. And then the head turns so that the eyes swivel and the 2 points are like forward towards you. And she puts on a big smile and says, Adhere, is there something the matter?
No, just stretching my legs.
You should try outside.
Fresh air does do some good.
Focuses the mind.
Eyes just sort of meet, hold a gaze. She doesn't go for any more biting remarks. She'll keep on moving, kind of to the other end of the room and out the door.
Once she sees you gone, the two of them return to their conversation. Atira, you arrive back to the dormitory to find like Uther grabbing up, you know, duffel bags of weapon and gear and things like that you guys have packed away.
So here's a little bit of advice. If you run into the other woman, she is not a fun person to be around.
Just hyper religious and weird about it, or
Yeah, she also doesn't move right. I don't know if, you know, it's comes with having a stick up your ass, but Adhira turning to humor.
is that a gay?
Repeat that while you're sort of breaking up a little.
I want these things.
Give him a second.
I
think
assume this
Uther's
was just the
just slipping
sound.
back into his natural language, and it's like I'm getting like every other word in a sort of translation. Like, yeah, like how that.
Uther-
I don't know.
Uther's just mumbling to himself.
I don't know what I would do if Wald quietly invented Coptic and just showed up every session and refused to speak any other language. Like, I'd be like halfway like good job and then halfway like for fuck's sake.
Or it's like such a thick accent. It's like that one guy from Hot Fuzz where you have
Oh.
to have like two people doing the chain of like.
Well,
He says for this one.
for me, that's not too much of a problem. That's where I grew up. An edge is an edge, isn't it?
Oh well, you know we're Americans.
Ned,
so-
There we are.
Summer
There we
Sam.
are.
There you go. We've got Wald back. What'd you say?
Discord fucking hijacked my microphone settings.
Of course.
and went to my headset mic instead of my
Defaulted to the
microphone.
worst option.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
I think the last thing...
I was
oh, yeah,
asking,
go on.
is it like a weird gait? Is she stiff? Does she have a limp? Like, what do you mean
She
moves
just
weird?
how she moves doesn't seem right. I'm not gonna say she's a monster, but it's certain people are weird. She, her whole
Is
body
it weird
kinda
enough?
shivers.
Is it weird enough to bring it to everyone's attention, or should we focus on the thing in the basement first?
Let's focus on the thing in the basement. I don't think she's a monster. I just think she's a bitch.
You got...
Got your sword?
Monsters of all.
You guys split the weapons and gear that you require between the two of you, grabbing up the bags, kind of hooking them over your shoulder, heading out, walking back through the main atrium, Atira. Both the worried-looking man and the bitch are no longer there.
Good. Moving on.
As you continue onwards, arriving back to the group, you probably turn up. They've been waiting for like a minute after the discovery about like angel light or you know whatever it may be. As you walk back in, Axel goes over to the like duffel bag, grabs what he wants from them, and says, "We think we may have a possible key to the door, so to speak. It needs a certain kind of light, maybe color or celestial.
How wore is it? Completely wore down, 0 chance of being able to read it, or is there like it's just hard to read it?
I think that one specific word, like the sort of unfortunate linchpin, is the one that's been degraded the most. It's going to be impossible to read that one. And yeah, Clara and Caliban have picked over the rest of it and got, the fact that a little bit of light opens the door, a lot of light destroys the door, and it needs a specific kind of light to do either of these things.
This has the rest of the party filled in Uther and Atira on the translation and like the thought process behind it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what that just was there, I think.
Okay. Adhira is going to turn to... Oh my god, the name I have Everest on the mind. Sympathy.
Mm-hmm.
Those two handsome hunks of rock outside, they're not a recent addition, are they?
They've been here longer than I have. As far as my predecessor informed me, they were there when they got there as well. I have no reason to believe they've been anything other than always here.
Do they give off any sort of weird light, or what do they do?
Well, I mean, I saw from a distance when you were in conflict with them, there were flashes of light. Obviously, when I arrived, however, most of the light seemed to be coming from your companion.
I see. I'm just wondering if they might have a part to play in all of this.
I wouldn't even know how to ask them to come and do this. I mean, I have... They do seem to defer to me over certain things. I seem to be able to designate what is danger and what isn't, but beyond that, I've never really been able to interact with them at all.
Adhira is going to give her a smile and kind of like elbow her in the side. Like, you could always try believing and clapping your hands 3 times.
She sort of gives you a strange frown, Tira. She just kind of looks at you like, what is this small lost child telling me?
Books have poisoned my mind.
Those aren't books. Don't insult books.
Look here, God. You don't tell me what my character reads.
No, you told me.
I think she definitely has some actual books.
Of course.
But here we'll move away and like start pulling out Compson, unfolding it, checking its rotary function, all that sort of stuff, preparing for potential conflict.
Axel looks at you, Caliban, and is like, if it is celestial light, then my concern is the brightness you give off might not allow the door to be salvaged, as it were. I think that you might blow it off its hinges, and well, then whatever is down there, we definitely need to deal with.
Do you think like I should just like stand on the other side of wherever and just like slowly approach to adjust the brightness?
I
think maybe we just put a blanket over you.
Like a... Well, I think either of these are viable methods, at least to try, but I don't know which is better. I've never had to adjust the brightness of my teammates' wings in order to open a door before.
First time for everything, I guess. Given, I think we would have had some camping equipment with us. I assume we also have a blanket available, and I want to go with this approach because I think it's funnier.
You might have the Taliesin thread canvas that you guys used for a tent packed away. I don't imagine you guys would have left it behind, but feel free to tell me otherwise.
That should not let light through because it is cameo.
Yes.
That should work. I'm fully on board with just putting like the hull of the tent over Caliban and just slowly guiding him in the direction of the door.
Using me as like a flashlight.
Sort of, yeah.
Hooded lantern.
Yeah, hooded lantern is the closest I can think of.
Yeah.
Is that what you guys want to try?
Yeah.
Alright. Caliban, draping the Taliesin thread canvas kind of like over your shoulders. Do you have manifestations of your wings left to use?
Let's see. What was the, when does it come back?
I think it's proficiency times per long rest.
I believe I have like 2 more uses.
2 more uses, okay. Would you like to use one of them here?
Yeah, sure thing.
Okay. Now I need to work out what the role is for you working out how to sort of aim or adjust your light onto the barrier. I think I'm somewhere between wisdom and dexterity, because it's
I was gonna say Constitution or Charisma.
Constitution or Charisma might be you trying to actually influence the light of your, like, to actually be like, I want to let out more or less light itself. If you want to go that route, you absolutely can, Caliban.
I'll go with whatever you suggest.
Well, it's easier to just adjust the amount of thread between you and the spell.
If you want to adjust the amount of thread between you and the spell, it's either a survival check or a sleight of hand check. If you want to somehow try and control this aspect of your body you've never controlled before, it will be a Constitution check or a Charisma check.
I'll see if I can try to adjust it.
Okay.
Alright. Constitution check.
Yeah. And we'll give you advantage for the fact you've got a tool. Okay, 19. Caliban, as you start walking closer, and what does it look like trying to control the luminosity of your wings, Caliban? Is it like a tension in your face, or are you trying to do something in particular, or is it like a flickering of the lights on the wings? Like what does it look like?
He's concentrating really hard with his face.
Mm-hmm. So I guess
to everybody else, he just looks constipated.
You see Caliban walking forward, the kind of cloth over his shoulders, digging deep into trying something he's never tried before. As you walk forward, for the first few steps, you've got no control over it whatsoever, and what the thread does is it sort of like keeps the light from being too overwhelming, but the longer you focus, the more you feel like this is a part of your body that's like attached to you. And as you think about the light, the wings flex and they like expand a little and then fold inwards, and the feathers ruffle up, and for the first time you guys can see the like individual sections of each of these feathers and the way it all sort of articulates together. And then Caliban, you feel a sort of ease come over you, and the light dims a little, and the silver barrier that was kind of faint to see before flares up for a second, and then it ripples like water, like the surface of the Stargate almost. It's like a silvery water that seems to be more permeable in this dim celestial light. Axel takes his stick and pushes it through, and it seems to drop down into the silvery, almost liquid, and clunk on the other side against stone. That's good.
Now, I don't want to say I'm a genius, but I will take my thanks later.
How long can you hold that, Caliban? I imagine we should hurry, huh?
We have just about a minute.
Let's get through before it closes.
Bodying through.
Mm-hmm. it feels a little bit like when you dip your hand into water, there's like a layer that ripples over the surface of your hand. But as you come out the other side, Dafer, you are, you're not drenched or anything. And instead, you're in this musky, rotten wood, sort of like stone cellar smell, a little dusty stairway that heads down. It is wide enough to bring Cerberus if you would like, Clara. I'm not sure whether you want to bring him down with you or...
If I can, I will.
Yeah, it's like exactly wide enough for Cerberus, and it seems to be like, the staircase that heads down. Hopefully the rooms down there are wider than the staircase, but at present it looks like Cerberus can fit. Dafer, with you in the lead, do you want to give me a perception check?
Can do. I would ask for Uther to hold out his flame dagger, so I actually have some light to go by.
You have Caliban's wings as well for a little bit longer too.
Right.
Obviously, multiple light sources never hurt anyone, but 13. Heading down the stairs, the light picks out what at first seems like cobwebs. It's like hanging strands from the ceiling. But as you put your hand up to kind of brush them aside, Dafer, it crumbles. They're like brittle. And looking up in the light, you can see that it's not cobweb, but it's like almost like extruded stone from the ceiling. I don't know if you've ever used blue tack before, but if you take two pieces of blue tack and you press them together and you pull them apart over and over again, there's like a million little strandy bits that kind of forms between the two pieces. And that's what it looks like. It looks like the ceiling has been like pulled apart like blue tack. And there are like stone strands that have been left everywhere that almost give this impossible architecture feeling to it as it's curved out into this cobweb that, as you're brushing aside, just crumbles into stone dust.
Okay.
But eventually... good.
I would definitely engage my armor keyword thingy.
Tactical
to
interface.
look out for enemies.
Yeah.
And immediately analyzing them for weaknesses if I can find one.
Mm-hmm. You turn it on, but as of yet, nothing is highlighted to you. Making your way through more of the stone cobweb strands, you find yourself, or you all find yourself, in a... It is like a storage cellar. There are some pretty big casks here that make you think of like either big water barrels or maybe like mead or ale aging sort of casks, something like that. And absolutely massive things. And they do have taps attached to them, but the taps themselves are like very old rusted copper. It's gone like a weird greenish color at this point. There are alcoves set out into the walls at different depths. Some of them have old, like, burnt to nothing candles where it's just wax pools. Others of them have rotten wooded, like, boxes, like storage boxes. Not quite crate size, but, like, set into the alcove to keep any pests that are on the floor away from it or anything like that. And you can see that there are little archways that seem to lead from this central chamber you're in into other, it looks similar looking storage areas with more barrels and crates. But there's no obvious sign of anything down here, and certainly not like a magic staff with a glowing star at the end. There's no light being emanated from any direction you're looking at present.
Actually, you have the stone that Uther gave you.
Who was that to?
Axel. Sorry, the first word must have gotten cut off.
I'm not sure which stone you're on about, sorry.
Oh, not good. Crystal crystal of good and evil.
Sorry, yes, he does. Yeah, holds it up.
Could you pretty good at that. I think we're about in an area where that could make sense.
He holds the crystal up, closes his eyes, focuses on the intent he would like. He says, straight ahead. There's something either in the next room or beyond it. It's just at the edge of the aura.
Is it moving?
What did you say it here?
She's like whispering, trying to keep her voice low for as little good as it does. Is it moving?
No. It's high up. Like nestled against the ceiling, maybe? He kind of points almost off into like a corner. And like it peels off into darkness beyond the edges of your lights. But like it's like in that direction, he can tell.
Okay. This might be something spider-like. Whatever it is.
Do we try and circle around or go for it head on?
He looks to the left and right where there are the other doorways and says, no way of knowing how everything connects. We could split up and try and encircle it, but there's no guarantee that we even can. It might have picked a location where there's only one way in, one way out, for all we know.
I also think we should probably take care of it now, while we're still close to the entrance. If we get further in and run into something worse and we have to still make it back through whatever this is, not a good idea.
Sticking together might be wise as well anyway. As you guys discuss, a light flicks on in the distance. A candle is lit, and it is placed upon a table. You note that there are chairs that are like old. Some of them are quite clearly broken, but they have been set against this table, and another candle lights, and more light comes to the room in the distance as a monotone voice says, "It has been long since, visitor."
Boy, it's hospitable.
A horse's head lowers down into the halo of light, and these like empty dark sockets, skull, funerary linens wrapped around it, but they're old and dirty and like grayed from like this beautiful white into something more brown and like dark gray, as the voice comes from the horse's head's direction and says, "Much changed outside, I'm sure."
Or
Evil, intimidating horse. Well, it's waiting for us.
I don't want to do introductions.
before this continues, what are you?
I am made, but my maker different than your maker.
I never got
Bird
it.
member. Same.
Axel, like not lowering his weapon, looks at this thing and says, "You were made by the Scourge." "Yes." "Why aren't you trying to kill us?" "Stuck."
I think just like a base common insight check, when it says stuck, would that imply that if we were to get closer, it would immediately try and harm us, or
Give me an
do I
insight check.
sense a different meaning behind stuck?
Yeah, give me an insight check.
And I would like to tactical interface the pieces of the horse that I can, the skeletal thingy that look like a horse that I can see.
Investigation check with advantage, please, Stafer.
Yeah. It is 25.
25. On a 25 insight to begin with, you think that stuck is being used in a there's a barrier on this place and it can't get out sense. Like, it's a stuck in a far more grand sense than, like, I physically can't move. You've seen it move, Adhira, right? Like, it's set the table. It's moving around. You get the impression that, like, it can't leave this place. On a 25 investigation, what you discover, Dafer, is this thing has no vital organs, and through all intents and purposes, what you're looking at is nothing more than dead material. You don't see any reason why it should be alive or moving whatsoever.
It does not have any weaknesses that could stagger it.
No weaknesses. You can't even tell how it's holding itself together.
Okay. That's not good.
So, if it's a grand more meaning than stuck, Adhira's weapon is going to lower from, like, where she has held it out down to where the blade sweeps against the floor, and she is going to take slow and cautious steps towards the archway to the other room.
As you walk forward, Axel, he moves forward, not lowering his weapons, but never letting you be closer to it than he is.
Hmm? How far away is the entity?
If you think you're, like, in this one cellar room that's maybe about the size of, like, an average living room, like, decently big. There's another one of those in front of you, and then it's in a third one in the distance. So it's, like, a good, I want to say, like, 80 feet or something like that total from you, including going up and into the corner.
Okay. Because Deefer is not super sure that's not an illusion at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Given that he can't pick up anything from it. And he would...
Axel,
say so. Mm-hmm.
Axel, if you say that, Axel will say, I'm still picking it up from the corner. Whatever the crystal's picking up, that's it.
I think that would give Dafer's brain something to chew on while he does pick up, like, a small, I don't know, there should be, like, rock fragments or something that he can pick up, so it's like a decently sized rock to throw with it each step when we come closer to it.
Okay.
I would also use this moment to warding bond, and I'm going to be torn on deciding who gets it. Oh.
Is there anyone who doesn't want to approach or, like, has something in particular they're looking out for? Obviously, Adhira's moving forward and Axel is keeping himself in the most vulnerable position, shall we say, while not dropping his guard. Okay. Warding bond is on Adhira.
I just want to be on the lookout for any, like, markings, symbols, etc.
Yeah, either perception or investigation, either.
That's going to be slightly better.
So, oh, you got your D4 as well, right? 9. There are scratches and notches in some of the stonework that lets you know that there was a fight down here at some point. On a 9, that's all you can really tell is, like, there was a pretty sizable scuffle here a long time ago, some of the scratches have sort of like worn down and they're smoother now, but you could tell that at some point there probably have been like deep gouges in things and stuff like that. The horse moves lower down, so like the rib cage is more visible. You can see that it is hanging from these tendrils of extruded stone, so like the cobwebby remains from the opening you walk through seem to be the remnants of it moving around. It's moving via like transmutation is the best way to describe it. It's like transmuting the stone to hook and hold itself from the ceiling. It seems to keep eye contact with you, Adhira, as you get closer, and says, you approach. You're not scared?
I'd say I'm still scared, but
Interesting.
I think this is...
I've lost my audio. Give me one moment.
Oh no. You can't hear me. I can get up close.
Oh no, the being has audio. Fuck.
When Sam come back, tell him that Adhere is no longer in front of...
My headset just decided to turn itself off, even though I was using it. Very rude of it. As I said, it asks you if you're not afraid.
I wouldn't say that exactly, but... I realize you're not immediately going to try and kill me.
I will not kill. I will not change. Will not remake you. I need your desperate one.
Desperate?
It like nods the horse head in a like far too exaggerated way. And it says, your kind clings to the past, not making new things, recreating old. This is desperate.
There's a debate there. I think Adhira's words are kind of like trailing off as she gets closer as this thing moves. Do I start to get the sense of looking at a puppet? The exaggerated movements of the head and how it turns. Do I get the sense that this isn't the real head?
Yeah, give me an insight check again. You're not sure if it's not the real head or this thing doesn't know how living stuff moves. Do you know what I mean here? It's like, it's somewhere between it, whatever this is, it's faking something. Whether it be the actual anatomy of its body or its understanding of how bodies move. In fact, you know what this feels like in a sense. When you first started becoming a spirit and you were like, I'll make myself into a certain shape and try and move around. It's got the exact same energy. It's like this thing doesn't know how physical bodies are limited.
It's old, my Asmikvin. It's been so cut off from the Scourge and the group that it's a bit disjointed.
You're not sure if it's forgotten or it never knew.
It may also just be not that trained in being corporeal. Not having had any chance to gain experience with it.
I wish to see the world. Your creator gone. My creator gone. We are free, yet I think compulsion you still feel. Compulsion I still feel. Desire to unmake you, remake you. But control it. For now, I can.
Ed here is going to... She is reluctantly going to take her eyes off of this thing to look back at Clara for some sense of guidance or hope that the other girl has a better grasp of this situation.
Okay. I'm gonna take a step up a little closer to it so I can see it.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you take this form? Is this the one you were given?
When I was created, I was made of things. Some of those things remain.
You said you wanted to see the outside world, but you can't go out there looking like that.
I am...
That's a little harsh.
Distasteful.
No, I don't even mean it in a bad way. But what do you think the populace would do if they saw that? What do you think sympathy would say? It's too conspicuous. It's not like anything that lives in the outside world.
Not sure why we're entertaining this, to be honest.
That's my job here, I guess.
As it ponders, the rib cage clicks together, like the ends of the ribs, like someone tapping their fingers on a table. The two sides of the ribs pincer in and like as it thinks. You can like hear the churning of its mind.
I think while that happens, Dafer would like hiss towards Axel. Please tell me that this is not some kind of once never seen before monstrosity that you never encountered before.
Axel thinks, looks at you, Dafer, and says, I haven't even encountered every miasmic before, let alone the things that we have to deal with will be myriad. And no, I've never encountered something like this. It speaks. I don't think it's a miasmic.
What's general protocol for this?
He thinks for a while and says, well, I think most would destroy it. I mean, the crusades against creatures like this are well documented. But it does seem to want to talk. At least. Tell me, I am uncommon out there, then? My kind are gone.
Well, we're not sure what your kind is. None of us have ever seen anything that looks much like you. Or talks like you.
Your creator made angels. My creator made me.
Then no. You wouldn't just be considered rare, you'd be considered improbable.
I have a question
Yeah.
that's going to come less from Adhira and more from like a general observation. As you have every right to deny this question, as we talk to it, does the voice seem to change or adapt or begin to flow better?
A little. It does seem to be getting better at speaking.
That's not entirely concerning, but that is still notable.
By the way, the energy you're getting from Terminus is... how do I put this? Like, because it's sort of like a more emotional connection. He can speak to you, but he's not. But the like emotional energy you're getting is like old enemy.
Ooh. Not as much vitriol as like with a vice, but something. Okay, no, I understand.
Yeah, like imagine you're at a table with a veteran of a war talking about their experience with the other side, but the war was 50 years ago from their point of view, and they're sort of like, they don't hold a personal grudge, but at the same time it was their enemy. This horse thing lowers a little more, so you can see a little bit more of it in the candlelight. And it says, but not only am I rare, angels too are rare. Or you would not make the thing you brought with you.
What we have brought with us to allow us entry is not an angel, even though the effect might be similar. Angels, again, most people seem to argue whether they even still exist. We've not seen one. Not in a long time.
The potentially false head turns to look at Caliban, and it says, do you have distaste for me? I have distaste for you.
Caliban just like looks up at it.
You don't respond at all, you just look at it.
I'm just looking at him like, I don't even know what you are.
There is a laugh that comes from like deeper in the horse shape. It like comes from further in the rib cage. And it says, you don't know what I am. You don't know what you are.
I have a pretty strong idea.
And you hear it think again, that clack, 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 clack of the ribs together. As it says, is there anything I can do that would make you trust me?
I'm just looking at everybody else.
David's shaking his head.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to turn to Axel. How risky are we playing this one?
Axel thinks and says, I don't want more Trismerian blood on my hands.
Me neither. That doesn't quite answer my question.
Everything I feel towards this thing is that it's wrong. I don't know. I'm struggling to think of an answer to its question, that's for sure.
Well, I have at least one.
You can at least hear that.
I want to look at it. Like, look at it. I'm just a little bit worried that what I see might drive me insane.
Are both of you turned away, so like talking, or are you keeping the thing in sight?
Axel would be as close to it as anyone would be. So for Clara to talk to Axel, Clara would have to be looking at it, and I don't think Axel would take his eyes off of it. So both of them have it in eyesight.
How close is the horse head to the ground?
If you think a table is sort of at your waist height, Adhira, it's that height again from the ground. So it's almost, the horse head is like eye level with you, Adhira, to a degree.
1 second, I need to make a wisdom check. Okay, she's not gonna do what?
What were you considering doing?
Reaching out and touching it.
Can you roll add a minus 1d6 to that check, please?
My DC was 10.
Is that a saving
Okay.
throw?
No, it's just a check. It's like compulsion against like common sense. So she's maintaining where she is now. I will say her weapon has kind of like, the blade has folded onto itself. It's out, but it's not immediately at the ready.
As you consider reaching out towards it, there's like a fuzziness in your head that makes it a little hard to concentrate for a moment. But as you sort of like blink it away, you're like, wait, no, that's a silly idea, and you don't do it. Axel looks at you and Clara and says, do we have any way of protecting you against something like that?
I don't know. These fancy eyes of mine are quite new anyway. I'm not particularly strong, so I suppose if I do start to go insane, I have no doubt that Adhira could put me on my ass in 2 seconds.
Stunning strike.
Oh, I thought he would be the back of the head, but that works too.
Axel looks at you and says much quieter this time, do it. Even if it's not something we can trust, what you find out might be of use to us in the conflict that may follow.
I thought so. Could you hold still, please? I'm going to observe some things about you. If you wish to establish some level of trust, I have no doubt that a being as old as you are probably has some countermeasures to whatever this is. If you could not use them, that would go a long way.
I have little choice. I must be trusted to leave.
Thank you. I will subtract one of my hit die from the pool and turn my eyes back on.
Give me an insight check with advantage.
Damn.
Clara, what you see before you is the dead remains of a horse. But at the core of it is something that's like, it reminds you of kind of like when someone casts detect magic and there's that residue of a spell that's been left behind. It's like a sentient version of that residue. It's a spell that was cast that created something that is alive, like Awaken, but something far more power than an awakening spell. And seeded into the very creation of this life is the desire to pull apart anything that is ordered or structured. In the eyes that are true, as it looks at Adhira, you see reflected in that vision the desire to, like, you know, like a post-mortem, in a sense, to, like, cut her open to find out
like
what...
an autopsy.
Yeah, like, it wants to conduct an autopsy on Adhira. But it also kind of innately doesn't understand the difference between alive and dead. It doesn't really get what the difference would be between Adhira as a paste on the floor and Adhira as she is. And that desire is, like, innately baked into it. It wants to take things apart and disorder them and reconfigure them into something less functional, in a sense. At least from, like, your point of view, right? Like, it seems like it wants to just break things apart and leave it in a mess, in a way. And that's what you see sort of reflected at the very core of its being. This is something created to break apart anything that was made.
I'm gonna just blink very heavily and stop looking at it so intently. There's no nice way to say this. The way that you've been made, the way you were created it's almost diametrically opposed to things we hold dear. I don't trust that you might have more nuanced intentions, but your very nature goes against the society that we knew and grew up in.
There is a pause. The ribs twitch as if it's about to think, but it, like, stops itself just short of making that noise. And its voice shifts and it says, "Studying you will have to do." At which point it lunges forward. I will need initiative rolls.
I'd like to, for the record, I was 100% sure that, well, sorry, not 100%, 60% sure that this creature was just trying to get out in order to do more havoc. Like, the plan was disconfigure as much as possible, and that was only achievable by getting out, by any means possible.
Okay, next question. The fuck do we do with this thing?
Give it a taste of its own medicine.
Live with the fact we can't stagger it. So
Can't believe you hit it with a horse.
Well, you know, maybe there is such a thing as beating a dead horse.
I didn't even think of that. That should be well within. That should be like.
That's all I've been thinking of.
That should be well within my, like, brain's wheelhouse as well. Like, that's such an oversight by me. I can't even begin to codify it.
I can't believe we have to hit it with horse damage to stagger it. Then fuck.
Caliban, you see something before you that acts in direct opposition to all that has been made. As such, it will take a turn at the end of each of your turns. Caliban, what would you like to do?
It's taking an action on each of our turns?
In opposition to each of you that does something, it will take a turn at the end of each of its turns. Of your turn, sorry.
I should have gotten damage.
who is it lunging at first? Like, is it just lunging in general, or just
you see the horse head swings upwards, and at the back of it, it has this like hooked hand type thing, and it is reaching out towards Etira. At the same time, tendrils of the wall have moved towards Axel in order to get hold of him.
Is there like an action to like give somebody else like give somebody else a dodge?
You can take the help action, although I don't think it will help protect them, so to speak, Caliban.
Would give them a teamwork. Would put a teamwork point on them.
Would put a teamwork point on them, yeah.
Might as well.
Who would you like to help?
Adhira.
And are you helping Etira by, like, what, just, like, taking shots at this thing? Or what's the move here, Caliban?
Just maybe gonna, like, get in the way and just, like, put myself between it and her. Okay,
yeah, you impose yourself forwards. At the end of your turn, Caliban, I need a Constitution saving throw.
Alright. Do I still add a 1d4, or is that over?
I think that's skill checks only and not saving throws, so just the save. Natural 20. As you move forward and like put yourself more in the way, Axel's trying to also interpose himself, but already these like stone tendrils that are not as brittle as the old ones that were made are like wrapping around his arms. He's having to like pull through masonry that's extruded from the way. The clawed hand that is reaching out towards Etira suddenly like disarticulates like a knuckle joint coming apart with nothing connecting it, and it takes an odd angle towards you, Caliban. It embeds itself in your leg, and you feel the muscle fibers untie themselves from the bone, only for like something in you to like reconnect the tissue. Some like angelic force within your body binds the muscle back together with this like celestial light that glows from the wound briefly. Uther.
I am going to send an echo forward, and I am going to attack through the echo.
Yeah.
You never turned that one force minus everything.
9, as you swing forward with the blade, the rib cage swivels round, and instead of like clacking against each other, it like slots around into a solid box that your blade bounces off of, almost like an armored bracer of bone that it like fuses together and uses to bat your blade out of the way. Anything else?
I'm taking a step back and just leaving the echo in this engaged position.
Give me a perception check at the end of your turn, please, Uther.
Perception?
Yes, perception. Taking a step back, you feel your foot slip slightly, and as you look down to the right, you see that the stonework on the ground is beginning to liquefy a little, and your foot almost slips into this kind of like quicksand version of the floor, and you're able to like sidestep it as you almost dropped down into this liquid stone pool behind you.
I'm going to warn the others that it is affecting the floor.
Clara.
Well, let's just start hitting it, I guess. Let's not turn sharpshooter on to start with. 18.
18 hits.
I would like to trial this with radiant damage.
I
don't know if I get sneak.
You would get sneak because it is adjacent to Caliban. So that is 21 points of radiant, yeah? All of it radiant.
Yes, all of it's radiant.
The light flashes into the ribcage. There isn't much for you to hit, really, Clara, right? It's like all bone and ribbon. But as the light flashes in, there's this swirling nexus that you saw with your special vision, this, like, magical core that does exist. And as the light hits it, it seems to scatter some of that darkness across the wall. And actually, it, like, almost stains the wall with shadow is the best way I can describe it to you. It's like, it almost looks like blood splattered on there, but there's no actual physical material left on the wall. It's just like the essence of this creature sprayed across the stonework.
Right, got a call, guys.
End your turn there, Clark.
I will, like, shuffle back a little, because I didn't steady aim, so I get...
Okay, yeah. Backpedaling. Give me a dexterity saving throw, please, Clara. 19. As you step back, tendrils burst from the ceiling and try to, like, hook under your arms to pull you upwards, but you're able to duck and, like, move and swivel your way outside of the grasp of these stone tendrils.
Nice.
Cerberus. Anything in particular you would like Cerberus to do?
I think... I don't know if he's gonna have a great time trying to, like, bite this thing, so it's probably not wise. I'm gonna go and... I'm gonna send Cerberus up to where, Caliban is, and I'm gonna have him use the help action to distract the big thing. So
yeah.
Attacks it next gets the advantage.
Just like big threatening pose to kind of add another target to its like range of distractions. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he'll like roar or something.
Letting out a roar, taking up the predator's stance essentially. So that's a teamwork point that's been given to Adhira and to Caliban, and also advantage from the help action on both of them as well.
Nice.
It is Axel's turn. He is going to... he's going to try and shove the staff into that central point. 15, it manages to lift itself up and away. And as it lifts up, he's going to drop the staff, reach up, grab the spinal column, and try and pull it back down towards the ground. 23 is enough as he manages to get his hand, like, puts his hands into the dark nexus and just drops his body low, like bending his knees to keep himself balanced, and just pulling it so that some of these stone tendrils break, and he's like dragging it closer to the floor, holding on to the column of his spine, basically. I need a Constitution saving throw from Axel. It's not prone, no, but it's also not, like, wedged up against the ceiling as what it was trying to do. On a natural 1, his hands in that darkness, these, like, dark veins start pulsing down his wrists. You see necrotic energy starting to, like, burn his skin slightly, but his shell barrier flares up against it. He's able to just keep his hands in there a little bit more. But he does take 18 points of necrotic damage. Adhira.
She is going to roll, since Caliban is in front of her, she's going to take the kind of like an evasive footwork, turn to the side, unfolding her scythe. The rotary cylinder inside of its head whirs and spins and comes alive with fire, and scraping it against the ground, she does like this uppercut cleave and launches a wave of fire towards the body, the rib cage of this thing. It needs to make a dexterity saving throw as she casts Agnazer's Scorcher.
It will not be able to make a save as Axel purposely puts himself and the creature in the path of your spell. Go ahead and roll for damage.
22 fire damage.
Points of damage. Axel is able to use it, like, basically uses the creature in part like a shield, so he takes a little bit of damage from your spell, but the creature itself is lit up, and these funerary, these linens basically start to burn off of its body, and you can see there are, like, lots of almost like iron filing micro particles that connect up the bones of its spine, that seem to emanate from the dark core of its body, it's like a ferrofluid that's like attached along the top of the spine that seems to be holding the body together, even at a distance like it is now with Caliban. It's got like a section of its bone embedded in Caliban's leg still at present.
That was my action. For my bonus action, she is going to rouse Terminus from his languid inactivity and activate her spirit form. I don't think it's close enough.
If you rolled back to like launch the spell, I think you're right. I think you've probably moved a little bit too far away, but still, shifting into spirit form, the spectral scythe sort of appearing around you. I think you would note the Terminus's weapon is more serious than you're used to seeing it here. To a degree, like, there's a little bit of style and flair into how Terminus presents himself normally in a fight. This is much more, like, utilitarian. Well, like, the arms that appear are quite clearly wearing like metal plates, like a scale mail type thing along the spectral arms, and the scythe itself is more like a war scythe with the pointed end, a little bit more spear-like than anything, Atira.
Okay. That will be my turn.
And you're trying to need a wisdom saving throw, please, Atira.
I have advantage, or I have a +1.
+1.
+1. I'll give you advantage from Caliban interposing himself as well. So that's a 19 overall. Okay.
Yes.
For a moment, you watch as the table that had been pulled up twists and bends and reconfigures itself. It starts to like take on a more female shape. But as you look at it, and as like your head does that same like fuzzy feeling, having experienced once before, you shake it off and you see that the table is exactly normal in the middle of the room. It hasn't shifted at all, Atira.
Pressing dark thoughts.
Dafer.
Alright. Axel, move it a little bit to the side, please, and like Dafer just like puts his two gloves together, like with the palms facing outward, like gathering as much air pressure as he can before he unbolts like a double shot of his ranged attack, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Recklessly, so I'd say it just like it's so much that it actually makes him stumble back a little.
You're doing like the like, I can't remember what it's called, but the Hulk clap, where you like clap your hands together and it like shoots out a wave, basically.
Like we can do that, or a Kamehameha, both.
I think the clap makes more sense for the pressure waves, yeah. But yeah.
But we are an anime.
We are, well, that doesn't mean much for comics these days, so.
Yeah, okay. Essentially, like, that's 2 attacks at advantage range.
Yeah.
Main attack, that is, Overload would have been activated for this beforehand. So Overload and that's a 24.
24 hits, 8 damage, as, yeah, Axel, like, puts a foot on it and, like, tries to lever it around so that poof, your wave, like, slams into the false horse head.
The second attack, let's see if that also hits.
Yeah, also hits, another 6 points damage. 2 impact waves that spread across the surface of the skull that, like, breaks apart, and then you can see these, like, connecting iron file type constructs that are holding the skull that's broken together.
Okay. Jafer would say like his I don't know, 10, 15 feet that he is away currently in order to like have it decide if it attacks, either it has to risk movement or attack at disadvantage. It's time to force that decision upon it. And that would be his turn. I think just like split us back from the impact.
At the end of your turn, Dayfair, I need... I think you would go for... Yeah, give me a wisdom saving throw.
Ooh.
9. Dayfair, you start to feel, with your overload, in the early days of your testing, sometimes too much energy would channel through the gauntlets and they would get really hot. What you're feeling right now is every piece of metal on your body begins to glow searing hot and starts to burn against the barrier between you and your skin is like trying to protect you, but it's so hot as heat metal goes across your gauntlets and like your like legs and everything else. Give me 1 second. You take 11 points of fire damage as the very weapons you rely on start to burn against the barrier. Caliban.
Am I close enough to get in some hits?
Yeah, you're like right next to it. It has this claw in like your upper left thigh. Otherwise, weapon in hand, you can strike at it.
Can I dislodge the claw with attacks, or do I need a save for that?
I think you could do like an athletics check to pull it out, but that would take up one of your attacks to do so.
I think I'm just gonna attack instead.
Okay.
Not with my athletics rolls.
15 does hit. 6 points of damage. Where are you aiming? You're like going for like the tail part of the body that's attacking you, the central dark nexus, or like the head of the horse?
I'm aiming for center mass.
Your blade slips through and sticks through into the darkness where like Axel's hands are, like pulls his hands apart, your blade shoves in. It does seem to injure the creature, but like not by much, Caliban. You're like, you're you're stabbing into like something that's almost conceptual but seems to be linked to reality, so is taking damage.
Alright. More time.
Natural 20 definitely hits. This time, with your blade already in there, you just shove it deeper into the darkness, and as you pull your blade through, it's covered in... It's like, again, this shadow along your blade. Almost as if, like, you had put your blade underneath a dappled tree. It's got this, like, dappled effect over it, where the essence of this creature has stained the long blade that you hold, Caliban.
Alright, bonus action, offhand dagger.
Yeah, which dagger are you using?
Shit, there was the...
You've got your parry dagger, and you've got the candle dagger that you picked up as well.
Fuck it, we're using the candle dagger.
Okay.
Oh my god!
That triggers the color prison spell.
What section of its body do you want to cut off? Like, what part of it do you want to just cleave off here, Caliban?
Can I cut off the part that's like... that has Axel in a bind?
You can, like, sever the spine right where he's holding it if you want, yeah.
Yeah.
You take this dagger, and as it approaches this creature, the very tip of the blade lights like a candle, and as you slice through it, it leaves this lasting trace of light, like a scar in the darkness that severs the spine, and it bursts forth in like a rainbow of colors that for the first time makes this creature like writhe in pain, almost like a nervous system response to something for the first time, as it like twitches and the ribcage clacks together. Go ahead and roll for damage as well, of course.
Right, I forgot about that. Yeah, I was just like so surprised by the nat 20.
Anything else,
Alright.
Caliber?
That's the end of my turn.
I need another Constitution saving throw. 7. You suddenly feel a shift in the embedded claw in your body, Caliban. One of the claws breaks off. It grows little legs, and it scuttles underneath your skin, and you can see something moving under your skin, moving up your leg, basically. On the outside of your hip towards, like, your stomach, something begins to crawl through you. Give me 1 second. You take 14 points of piercing damage. Uther.
Can I study this thing for a second and try to figure out the best way I can help take this thing apart?
Yeah. Is this like study in terms of like investigation or more like magically how does this thing work? Like, what's...
I think it would be Arcana, because part of what I'm wondering is like you keep mentioning the iron bits that are connecting things together, and I'm just wondering, well, can I hit a bunch of those? And...
Yeah, give me an Arcana check.
Let's see. I am thinking now.
26. Looking at it, the first thing you're able to work out from like how the fight is gone and how it moves, the bone is completely sort of, you know, like how a crab picks up a shell in a sense. Like you could break, like a hermit crab picks up a shell specifically.
Yeah, I know what you're referring to.
The bone is like completely irrelevant in a sense, right? Like it's useful to it, but it's not actually part of the creature. Looking at it, this like ferrous fluid that goes across it, it does seem to be the actual how it's interacting with the world part of the creature, but the true nature of it is that dark mass that Axel has his hands like embedded in right now. The candlelight is hit, so you can attack the bone section of it, Uther, and that would make it like less able to attack and defend. You could attack the ferro-liquid part of it, which would make it less able to interact with the world at large. But the actual like core that is, say for example, creating these tendrils and other things like that, it would still be able to magically attack if it had this like central piece to it. I think finally on a 26, what you realize is that like that central part of it, Uther, is much harder to harm. It's like attacking a spell as it's being woven, right? Like trying to shoot a fireball. It doesn't really do much. You can influence it or destroy it in some senses, and obviously it seems to be not handling radiance and like light or fire very well, but like actually stabbing it isn't doing too much in a sense that you think, Uther.
Would I be able to tell if my dagger just being light but not actual fire would do anything? Or...
You think it would do more than a normal dagger and less than like the radiance, basically. Like it will do something, just not as much as others.
I think I would like to target the ferro fluid and keep it from interacting as much with the terrain.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to like just like cut it off from the ceiling in a sense? Like how do you want to play it?
Yeah, that sounds good. Just try to drop it some.
Okay.
Am I allowed to aim?
I think you wait, can you aim from, you must be able to aim through the duplicate, right?
I mean, mechanically, can I use the aim feature, or do we want to say I use my bonus action to analyze?
Oh, yeah, you're right. You would have taken your bonus action to take a look at this thing. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Yes, you're correct.
Okay.
So no aim this turn.
Wanted to make sure. Yep. Oh, good. I will once more attack through the echo because I don't want to touch or be touched by this thing. Fucking 10.
10. You swing the blade through. It shatters through one of these tendrils. At which point, like, another one forms and like replaces it, basically, as you're looking at it, Uther.
Okay. That will be me.
At this point, the head of the horse that's like a fractured skull disconnects from the main body. It parts into smaller and smaller bone shards and whirs forward to the spot where you are, Uther, and like a cloud of daggers envelops you, spinning in a cyclone. I need a dexterity saving throw.
No cloud of daggers. Baldur's Gate 3.
All of them want to pierce your skin.
You don't have evasion yet, right? So you take 5 points of damage as you get nicked and cut by different
I
sections
do
of the
have
bone.
uncanny dodge, though.
Uncanny dodge is attack rolls only. I'll be a stickler here. That's a saving throw.
Way.
Clara.
I am going to take a new steady aim at this thing's giant swirling center mass. I will turn all of my fancy bonuses on. We'll see how close I can get. Well, it's a natural 20 minus 5.
Natural 20 hits, though. Doesn't matter. Yeah.
Oh, this is going to be a lot of damage.
Oh,
I will spend one of my points of patience to upgrade my sneak attack die, because that's what the nat 20s are for.
Oh god!
I don't know why, but in my head, there's that, like, board of little flippy switches with all the, like, names of the different things you've got, and you're just there, like, flicking them on like you're about to launch a NASA space rocket type, like...
Is that not what she just did?
That is very much how this feels. Like, Clara does a lot of missing, and then she just, like, hits one, the really important one, and it goes off like a nuke.
I think that Axel's like holding onto the spinal cord with this thing, looks over his shoulder at where all of you are, sees you like lined up, and just lets go as this like rocket of pure radiance bursts through. Again, this huge spray, like as bright as the light is that goes into this thing, an equal amount of dark like just spurts out across the wall, to the point now that the ceiling of this room looks like a night sky with no stars and no moon. It's just like a void that is above you all, darker than the darkness of like the cellar itself. As its eyes, like the actual like true eyes of its body, start to leak black ichor onto the ground. As it does so, it hits the ground like an acid, like a sizzle, as it starts to unmake the stone. And you watch as some of the stone like transmutes into glass, into like leaves and other like things that it should not be. It just starts to just warp the stonework as it bleeds onto it into other things that exist that is not stone, Clara. But it does seem to still be fighting, even though you've like just absolutely gutted it with this shot.
Nice. I'm happy enough with that.
You staying where you are, Clara?
Yeah, I can't move. I steady aimed.
It will. You watch as a section of the dark rips open, like kind of like a sealed skin mouth tearing apart, and little dark teeth are within there. As it gargles, it bubbles up some of this vomit, and it will spray it towards you, Clara. I need a Constitution saving throw.
Oh god.
Yes,
that's fair.
Clara, roll me a D100, please.
90.
Uh,
Good or really bad?
90. 1 second. Clara, name me an animal that Clara is fond of from her homeland.
Ooh, I know what Clara is fond of from her homeland.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of things that I like from my homeland.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with, like, badgers. I love a badger.
You guys watch as Clara falls apart into like 5 or 6 different badgers. As she just tumbles to the ground, these black and white striped animals, the ichor evaporating off of them. As you all look at these badgers, you can distinctly see Clara as like, you know, like the way they look around and seem to like, some of them like hold on to the weapon even. This is a sort of like hive mind of 5 badgers that are Clara that you guys are looking at present.
5 badgers in a trench coat?
Yeah, kind of. It's just 5 badgers, no trench coat. Yeah. Or it's 1 Clara in a 5 badger coat. Cerberus is still taking commands from the entity of mind that is Clara, so it still acts as normal.
I'm gonna have him. Let's go for a bite. What? Oh, I probably shouldn't bite this thing because it's steeping ichor. So I think I will resort to Cerberus being a helping paw.
Okay, yeah. Who are you helping this time?
Let's help Axel.
Okay.
Axel's been doing the most.
Alright. Technically, it does still get to respond to Cerberus. Let me just think what it would do. Get a strength save from Cerberus, please.
Sure can. Oh, that's good. Oh, it's the same bonus. Doesn't matter.
At this point, different tendrils like come out of the walls, wrap around Cerberus's wings, pulls it back, and like pins it against the wall by its wings, like wrapped around the joints as it connects to its back. So it's like stood up on its hind legs, but pulled against one of the walls nearby. And it is restrained there at present. Axel will, first of all, attack with advantage. Backing off, swings the staff in. 21 does hit. 7 damage, and we'll use a teamwork point to, I think, Caliban, you're the other person in range to attack. Go ahead and attack with whichever weapon you would like. But 17 hits. Caliban, your dagger, your weapon, your noblesse oblige, your rapier pushes in. At the same time as the staff hits in, the ichor gets more over Axel's staff than anything, as the sections of the wood that it touches convert to like pottery and glass, and the end of his staff like snaps clean off in the attack, breaking against this thing. As he looks down at his weapon, and fuck, and he like turns it and he just jams the end of the other one like the broken end basically into it, using the jagged edge like a spear this time. Unfortunate, not the advantage on the second one, but 17 damage still slams in, and it like spurts the blood all the way up the staff. He has to let go as the staff breaks apart into like different constituent pieces. His weapon just gone at this point, resorting to just his bare hands again. At this point, Axel needs to give us a dexterity saving throw. He has advantage. Still fails as this acidic goop hits him. He takes 26 points of acid damage, like burns across the surface of the barrier that like protects him. Okay. Not quite bloody, but getting closer, Axel, is Atira.
I just watched one of my best friends get turned into a group of badgers.
Yes, you did.
I don't think she's gonna react well to that. I am going to leap closer towards its core. It still has that core in its main rib cage. And the arms of Terminus just kind of wrap around the haft of its war scythe, and like Jack Nicholson in The Shining going at the door, she's just going to swing repeatedly. First strike. 12 will miss.
Yeah, 12 does miss.
Second strike, 26.
That definitely impacts.
I will also spend a teamwork point to call in. Is Dave in range to use a ranged attack? The force.
Yep, would be.
Yep. Dave, go ahead and make an attack.
Okay. That would be overload, that would be gauntlet. 21.
Yeah, so notice it's Adhira, you watch as the spirit scythe sticks in and this ichor spreads across the surface of the spirit energy of Terminus. Sections of it bloom into bright flowers as the nature of the spirit energy there is completely shifted away from its original nature, and like bright, vibrant blossoms begin to appear along the spirit arm that gets sprayed with the ichor.
Jack it's not bad. She will expend a point of spirit to make 2 more attacks. Next attack, 18.
18 hits. 5 damage goes through.
Last attack, 16.
Also hits. Okay. Wham wham. Repeated impacts into it that makes like the center. It's starting to like almost orbit itself, so like the mouth that opened up starts to like tear and spin, and it's starting to get some momentum as it's like unable to hold itself in a steady state is what you're looking at here.
Sensing danger, I had to like step up onto the table to kind of like
yeah,
get
absolutely.
At it. She is going to sort of like tilt backwards and push off using mobile to put some distance between them, albeit this whole room is basically within its reach. That will be my turn.
Give me a strength saving throw.
Ooh, actually, something about my... Let me post it. I can make charisma saving throw.
Oh, but yeah, because you got the hands. Yeah, go for it. Damn.
Did not help you. That's still like +1, but still.
That rotation that you were like, that's bad news. It definitely, as you backspring away, you're like in midair, and you can feel it like a tornado. As you're midair, it starts pulling you back in like a suction force. Terminus's spirit arms embed into the ceiling, trying to like keep you from being pulled in towards it, at which point, you know, the sections of his body that aren't technically part of his essence anymore break away as flowers are left trailing in holes in the ceiling, and the spirit form of the hands are like trying to reconfigure and reform themselves with his energy. You are pulled into the section where the rib cage is, Adhira, and you feel the rib cage clamp down and capture you as Adhira is now held hostage within the bone cage of this creature. And the dark essence is essentially like right in front of her sternum, like right where her solar plexus would be. Any attack that pushes too deep or goes too far will also impact Adhira in this configuration that it's pulled in here, Adhira into. Dafer.
Like hell you will! And he like rushes forward, goes for like the most rudimentary approach. One hand grabbing Adhira like by the shoulder, the other grabbing whatever solid entity he can get a hold of that thing. Like grabbing both of it with his hand and then just ripping them apart.
I think that's an athletics check to me, yeah.
It is. So you get an athletics check with advantage and a +1 before.
So that's 19 so far. Oh, sorry, that is the 1d4, isn't it? Yeah. The fact that it was 2 1s threw me off for a second. 19. You reach forward, you grab hold. What you're able to do, Dafer, is you, like, wrench a couple of these binding bones away. You're not able to completely extricate Atira, but, like, should we say, like, she's halfway free is what happens at this point, Dafer, as you pull the bone free.
I would like to try again, because for my next move, I actually want to freeze this thing, and I can't do that with Atira there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll try, try to pry the rest of it away.
Yeah, second athletics check. Natural 20.
28.
At this point, do you want to, like, throw Atira across the room? Are you just pulling her free? Like, where do you want Atira to be?
I'm throwing Atira across the room at that point.
Yeah, Atira, you suddenly, like, at one point you're like, there's a tightness around you as you're bound in place. The next second you hear the breaking of bone. You look up to see Dafer, and the next thing you see is like the wall rapidly approaching your face. As you're able to like turn and twist and like rebound off of it with your reflexes. Dafer, you've like ripped and wrenched these ribs apart. Atira's completely clean across the other side of the room.
Okay, how about we bring some order into this? And I would like to trigger my my bonus action aura, which basically applies. It just applies the frozen damage to the square I'm in and all squares around me.
So that's cold damage, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, and I think like the main idea is, I like just what my thinking is, that cold puts things into a more orderly crystal configuration. That might do something to it.
Here's your choice, Dafer. Do you want to target the binding that it has to the ceiling, like make all of the tendrils holding it up freeze? Or would you like to try and put that cold energy into the dark mass of its core?
I mean, I'm currently holding it. I'd say the thing that's closer to me is the core, right?
Yeah, the core is like right in front of it. You're almost like face to face with the darkness.
Yeah, in that case, I think like narratively, it makes more sense for me to go for the core because it's just closer.
So I want you to give me an Arcana check, because this is like how much cold you can pump into something that really doesn't have anything to freeze in a sense, right? It's like an energy which could be diminished by cold, but yeah. Okay, 18. You watch as like your cold siphons off of you in a way that it's like it was sucking it here. It's like whirling in this cold, and you see sections of it start to spin at different rates with pieces of it almost like impacting itself. Almost like a car crash of entropic energy as it just slams into itself in front of you. It does seem to be set off kilter by this act of freezing that you've done.
Okay. I don't think I can really let it. I mean, it's not like it's narratively, like mechanically grappled. I'm just like narratively, I'm holding on to it. I guess.
Yeah.
I'm holding it somewhat to the side of me so that whatever dastardly shot the Badger commune of Clara can come up with only hits some part of me. If it's anything like the Radiant nuke she unleashed earlier, assuming they can shoot.
Yeah.
And keeping it at that.
Due to the cold damage it took this turn, it is unable to respond to you, so it does nothing at the end of your turn, Dave, for Caliban.
Keep attacking.
Yeah, driving the blade in. 17 hits.
Lots of 17s.
11 damage. Your blade plunges in. You can tell it's hurting it. It's not doing as much as like some of the other like more esoteric damage types, but you are still stabbing it.
Another
17. Another 12 damage goes in. Stabbing twice into the dark mass. 2 more sprays of black ichor. 18 hits with the offhand as well. That 4 damage does go through in its entirety as the candle-lit flame slashes through it again.
Right.
I need you to roll a Constitution saving throw for your sword, but we'll use your shell barrier because I imagine that energy is going through it.
Yeah.
13. The end of your rapier seems to warp and deform before breaking off. You now have a short sword, Caliban, not a rapier.
No, not again. I swear this sword is gonna become like Sword of Theseus.
Anything else, Caliban?
That's gonna be all.
At the end of your turn, the bone that you're holding onto Dafer seems to it almost seems to liquefy, but you realize it gets broken up into so many pieces, it's like sand flowing through your fingers as the metallic shards that make up its main body and the bone sort of merge together, and it turns into, instead of a horse, it's more like this worm or snake of twisting bone and metal files. It will flow forward and it is going to crash against Caliban. Caliban, give me a strength saving throw, please.
Oh boy. I'm great at those.
9. Caliban, you take 13 points of piercing damage, and I also need a Constitution saving throw, technically at the end of your turn, against the creature that is burrowing inside of you.
Oh dear. You said a Constitution saving throw?
Constitution saving throw, yeah. 12. 11 points of damage as whatever this thing is that's burrowing in you has made it up to your rib cage, Caliban. You can feel it crawling in between the individual ribs, back and forth, like moving between, like, you know, like when you're skiing and it like moves between cones, it's like worming its way up and down underneath the rib cage. Uther.
I would like to exit this flurry of bones that I'm in.
Yeah, you're able to like backpedal, and its attention is split. You can tell that it can move that bone, but it's like lagging behind you as you're moving.
How much of the main shell of it's still intact?
Honestly, it's hard to tell at this point, as it's like converted from a horse into more of like an earthworm of bone and metal. So like a decent amount of it, but it's broken apart into different sections. It's not like intact in one piece.
Okay. I don't know if breaking it up would be even worse on us then. So fuck it. I'm going to try to hit the core of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that'll hit. That's 16 and 9, 7 and 12. Okay. Technically it should just be max. But I keep forgetting, that's for sure. That said, one of them is max, so it's just 12 anyway. Oh no, it looks like Uther's already done it, so nothing to think of.
Yeah, no, I set up my crit to be
just the
my
number.
Sneak attack probably doesn't do that.
No, and it shouldn't. I think that would be insane if we were to just do sneak maxes. I would cry into my bed every night if we did that. I think that Clara and you deal enough damage. It's okay. We're safe.
Do more.
Your blade cleaves through. It's like a longer, more spread out version of the core at this point. So your blade like passes through, almost cutting waves of an ocean in half. This like miniature sea of dark energy that's rippling across the surface of the worm. You cut through that, and your blade, similar to Caliban's, gets that like dark shadow stain along the blade that comes down. And I'm sorry, Uther, but I need a Constitution saving throw for your mother's blade.
You're going to make Uther crash out.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Uther, as the darkness spreads down the blade, you watch the metal sort of warp and change so that it's different kinds of metal at different sections of the blade. It doesn't fall apart, but like there's a section of the blade that's bronze, then brass, then iron, and they all seem to meld into one another. But Uther, like innately as a craftsman, you realize that this blade isn't going to hold together nearly as well as this transmutation effect ripples through the weapon.
Would that work even though it's attacking through the echo?
Oh, you're right. No. I have a different... Can you roll me an Arcana check?
Oh, no. Interesting.
You're gonna transmute his soul?
For a brief moment, as the ichor sprays across the echo, its edges become more defined, and then it shifts back into something more ephemeral, Uther, as there is no duplicate of you in the room yet.
Oh, no!
I as a person, am squinting at you.
Is that the end of your turn, Uther?
I get one attack, luckily for you.
At this point, I would like a wisdom saving throw, please, Waldorf.
You need a what save?
A wisdom save, please.
Fascinating.
14. Who do you think the worst person would be for this thing to attack? Like, who would you be most upset to see it attack?
Uther.
I'm sitting here thinking I have the lowest con of the whole group, so me. It attacking me is bad.
There is a flash of that, like, I hope it can't get to me from here, at which point, the moment you, acknowledge that reality, it is out of, range of Caliban and, of Dafer and everything else so close to it, and instead, it is, half coiled around you. It's near you, Uther, as it's right up against you as you end your turn.
This is fine.
Claragers, what do you want to do?
We are going to try and operate the bow.
I think that you as a group of badgers that are hive mind have perfect teamwork. Yet still, you would not be as good at operating a bow as Clara would be, which makes me think you would have disadvantage. That said, I guess you can bonus action aim still, so...
Yeah, which would get me back to neutral.
Yeah, so I think, you could pull yourself back to a neutral shot as a group of badgers.
Okay. What a
Other
weird
things you hear in D&D.
Yeah.
So 30.
Two badgers plant themselves on either side as another one loads and two more draw the string back, and as a group firing a ballista, it pings out, but it goes slightly wide. Unfortunately, not yet, Clara. You do get another wisdom saving throw at the end of your turn.
Oh, wisdom was constitution the last time.
This time is wisdom. So the first time was the
so much better.
Yeah, the first time was the physical effect spraying over you. This is I don't know, some sense of your personal identity. I guess, Clara, in the essence of using your bow, it brings you back to who you are. At the end of your turn, you find yourself sat cross-legged, holding your bow off cant with the string in hand as you shift back. At the end of your turn, however, I think it is going to attack Uther. Uther, give me a dexterity saving throw.
Here we go again.
Yeah, for that, Uther, I'm going to say... it, like, wraps around you and tries to constrict you like a boa snake. How do you want to get out?
I know what I would say, but mechanically speaking, I have to do that on my next turn. So I will, I'm just going to weave through it. It's going to try to wrap around me, and I'm going to try to just weave through it.
Like in like a diving roll sense, like through some of the gaps, or yeah. As you tuck your body, jump forward, spring, like hand spring through, roll over one shoulder, come out the other side. As it doesn't just like constrict like a boa snake, you watch it condense down into a ball, and you realize that like had you been in there, it would have like crushed you down into a shape that people should not be, as it condenses down into a ball and then extrudes back out into the more worm-like tendril shape. Cerberus.
Let's bite. Well, actually, am I still restrained?
The bear is restrained against the wall at present.
Can he spend an action to like try and bite
Yeah.
his way out, or make
Yeah,
or something?
either bite or athletics. I think either one of these is fine.
Sure. We'll bite. We won't bite.
Turning the bear's head towards like where it's bound is a tough place to get the teeth into. Unable to like get a good hook in to like rip the cabling away, as it were.
Yeah, makes sense.
End of Cerberus's turn. It is going to move the swirling vortex of bone shards over to Dafer. Please give me a dexterity saving throw.
I can see it, so I get advantage.
Yes, you do, yeah.
So, not that it helps much.
Yeah, unfortunately, you take 13 piercing, which would be halved. 6 piercing. Axel, finding himself without a weapon, takes a moment, takes a deep breath, looks down at his hands, and I think Dafer being closest to him, you hear him mutter, come on, as he is going to make a wisdom save.
Uh-oh. Is he getting out the wild Axel?
You watch, he takes, like, there's a moment of panic, and then he goes, he, like, takes a deep breath, exhales, and you watch as, from his wrist upwards, just the hands begin to morph, as they extend out into werewolf claws and long, sharp fingers, and nothing else changes. He opens his eyes and gives a smirk and lunges at this thing, slashing out with bare hands. 26 and 15. 26 will hit. 8 piercing goes in, and there is a pulse of something that kind of goes from, it looks like comes out of Axel's shoulder. It's like a red energy that then swarms into the actual cloud itself, and all of a sudden this cloud starts to lose its tactical composure, and it like lashes out at anything and everything nearby it, but almost like ineffectually. There are tendrils coming off of it that like hitting into walls and tables and chairs and not attacking anything else, as at the end of Axel's turn it does nothing but sort of like rampage against random objects. Atira.
Spectral arms sort of reforming from their time being, I say the word deflowered. Adhira, rebounding off the wall, is going to run towards... It's still around Uther? Nearby?
Yeah, Uther is like 5 foot away from it, right? Like in engaged range with it at present.
I am going to jump with my first strike. I'm going to swing Thompson. 11 will miss.
Yeah, 11. Unfortunately, in its worm shape, it's very able to, like, swivel away from attacks like this, Atira.
I will use bonus action on our Spirit Strike, so swinging Terminus's scythe.
Impacts in this time. Another 7 points of damage.
One more swing with Thompson. Miss.
Yeah, this time it, like, as your blade digs in, it wraps around the head of the scythe, almost like enveloping it. I need a Constitution saving throw from you, please, Atira. You feel something in the mechanics, like the motorized sections of the scythe start to, like, whir and like crank and give in, and your scythe, like, starts folding itself up and unfolding itself at random as the mechanical sections of it start to fail.
Where is its core?
It's, like, spread its core in, like, a thin section over the middle of the worm. So, like, the two almost, like, heads of the worm don't have anything over it, but the core is, like, more spread out over the middle.
I'm going to spend a spirit point for Flurry of Blows and coalescing Terminus's energy into my right arm. I am going to try and wrap myself around it.
Okay.
Attack roll?
Yeah. Absolutely hits. Go ahead and roll for damage.
Take off spirit acid.
So you like, with the scythe itself of Terminus, you're, like, trying to almost, like, wrap that around to reverse boa constrict this, like, snake-like creature.
I'm trying to, like... I think in this moment of anger, she is trying any method to, like, strangle it, even if such an action is impossible with its biology.
Yeah, got you. You're like gripping onto it with this scythe. Yeah.
That will be her turn.
Dafer. This thing is slowing down. It's obviously still got a fair bit of fight left in it, and it's, like, lashing out continuously. At present, whatever Axel has done to it, it seems to be uncoordinated in its counterattacks. As even as, like, Adhira's holding on to it, its tendrils, like, lash out and attack the ground nearby. It's, like, tearing up chunks of masonry and flinging them around, and it's, like, converting into different materials and shattering against the walls. But it's, like, it's just raging against everything at present.
I have a plan, but I'm not sure if that would interrupt. Like, could I try to do a quick analysis on whether that would interrupt its current rage state to our disadvantage or not?
What's the plan, I guess, is my question.
I have fire in my boots and I have cold in my heart. I mean, all around me. I would like to basically do a thermal shock on, like, two different ends. One end I'd like to, like, make hot with my boots, like do 2 fire attacks against that end, and the other end I would like to move towards and have the cold aura, like, against that other end, plus the midsection where, like, the most of the metal matter is.
Yeah, I mean,
that way.
I think it's sort of impossible to know how it will react, like, because whatever it's going through, like, almost emotionally. So, you know, you could shock it out of it, but you might not as well, Dave. There's, like, no way of knowing.
Okay. I like like, all of this worm contains some of, like, this peril fluid that would likely react to the fire, correct?
Yeah, agreed, yeah.
Okay. In that case, Dafer basically shouts at Hira, "Go on, keep it like that," and like, runs to one of the hats and then just, like, drops down on his hands and then just mule kicks that with, like, his feet bursting into flames.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's a reckless. Main attack, I have overload, that is fire boot.
17 hits, 8 points of fire damage. It like ignites the end of the tail. Some of the metal starts to heat. It glows in amongst the bone shards that are still in there.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a double attack.
Yeah, another 10 points as well.
and then he basically rushes over to the other side of the wormhole, like placing him so that his aura reaches both the midsection and the other end of the worm, and then triggers his cold aura, which just deals the 3 cold damage, trying to like force this worm into the metal fist or the chaos fist into orderly configuration as possible.
Give me another Arcana check for like the added effect that you're aiming for here.
That's justice.
Yeah. You see that at the point where the cold and the heat meets, like it seems to like shear away slightly, but it doesn't completely shear. There's still this like inner core of ferrofluid that connects it, that manages to keep it together long enough for it to reseal and reform. Dafer.
My plan did not work. That was my turn. Actually, you know what? I'd like to have. Can I add one of my smites to my mule kick?
Yeah. I think it would have been fine to pulse that through. And I mean,
that would have been...
I don't think Terminus's Spirit Arm would carry a charge either. So yeah, lightning courses through the creature, but it doesn't electrocute Adhira.
Perfect.
It's still lashing out, so that didn't interrupt it. Caliban, you still have something in your rib cage. It's like under your skin. It's not moving at present, presumably because the creature in front of you has become like uncoordinated. But you can still feel there is like a bone shard in you. Otherwise, you have your target like in front of you.
Yeah, I was gonna say that I was gonna stop attacking. I'm gonna see if I could pry this thing out of me.
Yeah. You want to use the candle dagger to do that, or your normal dagger, or?
A part of me is thinking, like, what if I just, like, put the candle dagger in and just, like, manage to flush it out? But I realize, oh, those are my innards as well.
Those are your innards.
You're also aware, Caliban, that anything that dies by this blade, it's not coming back.
Yeah, just gonna use my normal dagger.
Okay. As you slide the normal dagger and pull out your parrying dagger, this is sort of like a battlefield triage kind of thing. I think this is a medicine check. I think you did have training in this, so I think you do have advantage. But yeah, go ahead and give me a medicine check.
The training was +2, I thought.
Oh, a +2. Which is probably...
Like,
I think it's already set up.
Yeah, I checked. It's like I have like a 10 wisdom, and I was curious as to why I had an additional 2 to my medicine.
See if the classroom training paid off.
Yeah, lessons learned. Triage 101 gives +2 to medicine.
Caliban, helped by the fact it isn't moving, you slice into your own skin and flick this bone shard with its weird insectoid bone legs out onto the ground. I think you'll take like a single point of damage from how successful it was. You like nicked yourself, but otherwise you are free of the influence of this creature.
I assume that's the end of my turn.
I would say using the dagger is usually a bonus action, and you sort of like it's like a skill check as well. So I'd say that's your bonus action. You've got the rest of your turn. 19 hits.
I'm stabbing at the bone shard.
Okay, yeah. Oh, on the ground, like the thing you cut out of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So 19 hits. You like slam the end of your blade down, and it fractures into a bunch of tiny pieces, seemingly destroyed Caliban.
Okay, now my attention is back on this creature.
Yeah.
It's still like away from us, right?
Technically, yeah, it moved away from you, but you could get there within a single turn. It's not that far, Caliban.
Yeah, I'll just move and go one more attack.
10. Reaching out and like swinging down with the now short sword style weapon, impacts against metal shards and just like deflects off as two pieces of metal clang against each other.
Damn. Okay. Fair enough.
End your turn there, Caliban.
Yeah.
The free round continues as it lashes out randomly. Uther.
I have reminded myself of a secret mouse Cthulhu that I am curious to see what will happen.
Oh.
So first things first, I am going to use my bonus action to teleport to the location of my echo, further away from this thing.
Yep.
Secondly, I'm going to pull out my revolver and I am going to change ammo to the ecto bullets.
Yep.
And then I want to shoot this fucking thing.
Absolutely. Go ahead and attack.
I don't think the ecto bullets specifically changed damage values,
No.
but they did allow it to hit incorporeal things.
Absolutely
and
it does.
shoot through solid things.
You pull the revolver up, load the single ecto bullet in, like spin it into place, pull the trigger. This creature puts up a barrier of like swirling bone and metal that the bullet passes cleanly through and impacts into the ecto like core of its mass. At which point, like the candle and the radiant damage that burned through it, it lets out like all of the pieces of it sort of like blossom outwards. I don't know if you ever played with one of those like Chinese finger trap like toys where if you press it together and expand it out, it like expands out like that, so it's like hollow but connected by tubules all along its body as it writhes in pain. I believe you can tell there isn't much left in its tank after that, Uther. It's not doing great as your bullet rips through the spirit core of the entity.
Alright, it's close.
I think that would break out of its like ravenous state. Uther, give me a dexterity saving throw again.
Oh no. No.
This time, teleporting to the echo, having not realized because your echo doesn't have weight, it had converted the ground into that quicksand type thing. As you're stood there, you pull the trigger, all of a sudden you realize that you're like up to your knees in the stone and you've like sunk down into it, and you can feel it's like a non-Newtonian liquid. As you like try and pull away, the harder you resist, the more it solidifies around you, and you can feel the pressure of stone like all around your legs as you're sinking down, Uther. Clara.
Not ideal.
Well, now that I'm no longer badgered,
Yes.
it is time to return to shooting at this thing. But like properly. So, steady aim, big shot. 15.
15 exactly hits.
Lovely. 21 radiant.
Your arrow slips through the dark center of it. All of the bone and ferrofluid, like fragmentation grenade, goes off in every direction. Every person needs to give me a dexterity saving throw. Uther at disadvantage.
Sorry.
Same for Cerberus, disadvantage.
I'm not anywhere near Uther, right?
No, across the other side of the room. It's against 5 points of damage. If you rolled lower than a 15, you take 5. If you rolled higher, you take half.
Because I would have tried to body heal whoever is near me. If that was possible.
I don't think so. It's like it happens in a distinct instant, Dave. Uther, I think as you see this thing come apart and it like peppers across the surface of your barrier, you see that there is still this dark mass, and it's like cocoon hardened hanging there, and the floor still hasn't like solidified. You're still sinking into it, which means that like there's something still alive, but you can tell that Clara's like blown apart
main body.
the main body or whatever it is. So like Clara, you've like killed its ability to be offensive, you think, but there's still something there. Don't know if there's anything particular you'd like to do, Clara.
We're still in like turn order. Aren't we?
Still in turn order, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so there's nothing I can do.
Okay. Cerberus is able to easily just break themselves free at this point. The bind's like weakened and it just kind of falls forward onto his forepaws.
I want to see if Cerberus can go and like dig around for whatever's left and just like pick it up.
Of like a piece of it, basically, you're looking for?
Just like trying to find out what is left of it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a survival check is like a good way of doing that one.
How does that work? Do I hit?
I think you can use yours. I'm fine with Clara using yours in this case.
23.
23? There are pins of metal, some bigger than others, still left in the ground, so that's like pinned everywhere. The bone seems to have vaporized in whatever detonation that was. Like, it was barely holding on already is a thing. Other than that, like, obviously Cerberus can feel it like a cold spot in the middle of the room, this like dark cocoon that's just hanging there still, but actually physically interact with it doesn't seem to be able to.
He's just gonna like sit down on his hind legs and just look confused.
Axel is gonna look at this thing, take his clawed hands, reach up, and his nails do seem to sink into the tough skin of whatever this thing is. As he says, there's a barrier around it, but I think, and he like starts to prise it open slowly as there is like a gaseous darkness underneath this cocoon that he's trying to prise open with his nails, and like just about managed to get like a small crack open. Adhira.
Her blood is up. Her anger is stirred. I'm gonna turn and cast Implosion. It's a point within range that I can see.
You want to like target inside, basically.
Yes.
And it like basically it like detonates inwards and sucks everything in, doesn't it? Your spell goes off. Adhira, it's kind of like it's like dropping a bowling ball inside the main hall of a cathedral. Like, the echo that you hear detonating your spell inside of it, you realize that, like, the space inside this creature is much bigger than the actual volume of the egg that is being prized open at here. That's what you discover as your spell detonates, and sort of like, there's like a rush of air, but it's like weirdly lost in the volume of what's going on in there.
So, no effect?
It doesn't seem to, no.
Stops or tilts her head. Confused. That is all that I have.
Dafer.
Okay. At a glance at this orb, this was the orb that reacted to my cold.
It's like you remember when? Actually, give me an Arcana check.
Like I'm trying to figure out whether it makes sense to play like temperature games here or not.
Yeah, give me an Arcana check. 26. There's something in your head, Dafer, that reminds you of fighting the Angelarium statues. Once defeated, they protected themselves and began to self-repair. This thing that you're looking at is some sort of dark mirror of the exact same thing that happened out. Like, this thing is like an inverted angel in some sense, right, Dave? It's cocooned itself and it's protecting itself. That it's essentially not, maybe not even the same kind of entity that you just fought. This is like a protection and self-repair thing that's going on in front of you.
Because I was trying to figure out what was the opposite of protection and self-repair. I was like,
well, the opposite of protection and self-repair is hitting something.
yeah. Okay. And I'm not getting the impression that elemental effects do anything specific to it, or rather, I don't know.
I think the biggest impact you've seen is radiance or light upon it. Obviously, that ectoplasm bullet fucked it up as well, Dafer, but you were able to damage the physical form of it quite well with elements, but not really the core.
In that case... if that's the case, I'm going to give the help action to Clara, and I think I like. I'm gonna tell Axel to like throw this thing my way.
He like tries to move it, but all he can do is pierce the outer layer. It's like a movable rod anchored in space right now as he like pushes as hard as he can.
Okay. In that case, I would like to jump and like try to drop kick as hard with like the full body weight that I have into like the little piece that Axel pried open to give more of a weak point for Clara to aim into.
Yeah, and that's your help action basically, Dave. Yeah.
That's how I narrate my help action.
Yeah, so like the opening that's been like clawed open, you slam into and manage to bend it inwards a little bit. Caliban, there is this dark egg that has an opening that's been pierced, and at present it seems to be reforming itself. Yeah, it's like repairing itself, ready to go again. Caliban, what would you like to do?
I swap out my sword for the candle dagger in my primary hand.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get to stabbing.
Go ahead and attack.
Have you considered stabbing even more?
15 hits. Go ahead and roll for damage. The end of the dagger lights, and as you embed it into the dark, that light fills up the dark interior, and all of a sudden the inside of the egg like ignites, and there is a unearthly screeching that comes from the inside of the egg, Caliban, as it starts to burn but doesn't seem to fully diminish. 13. This one, like, as it tries to self, like, it reseals some of the cocoons so that the blade, like, bounces off, and Axel has to, like, wrench his claws in and pull it apart a little bit more again.
And offhand, parrying dagger.
That hits as well.
That's your normal dagger, right?
Yeah. So
the
the normal dagger embeds in and pulls out, but unfortunately, Caliban, that doesn't seem to have any effect.
Yeah, because my method is like, if we're gonna be killing this thing, I need to like kill it with the dagger that makes sure that it's dead.
Do you say that out loud, Caliban, or is that like an internal thing?
That's just my internal thing.
Okay. Uther, you get the feeling this thing is about to reform. What do you want to do?
I need to get out of this goo.
Yeah, you are like up to your waist in it. Anything in particular you'd like to do?
Who looks the least occupied with fighting this thing right in the instant?
Cerberus, and Etira, maybe?
I'm gonna throw a rope to Sabaris and hope it'll grab onto the rope.
No faith in me.
I assume Clara would have no issue with that.
I don't see why not.
Yes, Sabaris would grab it with all 3 heads.
I am going to use the grappling winch built into my belt setup and have the bear pull while the winch pulls.
The winch whines for a good bit, Uther, but eventually it does give way and you are pulled free.
Do I still have an action after that?
I'm gonna say yes. In this specific instance, I will allow you to be like, basically because Cerberus kind of like held their attention to help you out. I think this is fine.
I'm going to load another one of those ecto bullets into the gun, and I am going to shoot at the ball of.
Do you want to shoot from a distance, or do you want to like shove the barrel of the gun into the opening and pull the trigger? Like, well, how do you want to?
I'm staying at a distance.
Okay, go ahead and make your attack. Uh, 23 hits, and you have sneak. With that, your bullet goes through the small opening as Axel, like, hears the click of your gun, tilts his head to one side, and your bullet, like, goes over his shoulder into the opening. The burning of the candle had not died down, and your bullet almost seems to, like, feed the fire as it bursts up, and from the inside, this egg burns itself into ash that then folds away into nothing and disappears. All of a sudden, things fall quiet within the space.
Who looks the worst for wear? Oh, wait, Caliban has just opened up his stomach.
Axel drops to his knees and kind of like looking at his hands, takes like a few like deep breaths as he tries to like morph his hands back to their normal selves.
Caliban, come here.
Yo, what's up?
I like make my way over, shuffle my way over to you, who just gutted himself, and like put a hand over your stomach, dump like just for aesthetic purposes, a healing light die into you, trying to like heal up the worst of the cut that you have.
Relax, it's just a flesh wound.
Yeah, sure. Here, have 1 HP worth.
Axel's hands don't revert, and as he grits his teeth trying to like concentrate on it, Adhira, you see one of those grit teeth, the canine, shifts into a longer form, and like almost like impacts his own lip, and it's like a slither of blood rolls down his chin as he bites himself in the lower lip.
Seeing this, he's going to drop her scythe, approach, and lay one of her human hands on his shoulder. You good?
I'm gonna do another wisdom save with advantage from that. His eyes swivel to you, Adhira, and you watch as the pupil slits and it turns into like a warm yellow, like more canid sort of like coloration to the pupil. And he like hunches a little bit as he like closes his eyes, realizing his vision shifting, and you see him trying desperately to like push this away.
I think she is going to lower herself
and slowly kind of like wrap her arms around his shoulder. It's not like it's like a hug from the side.
Mm-hmm.
Confidence behind this being that I am still at full HP and I have warding while.
Does anyone else want to do, like, obviously Dayfree just went over to heal Caliban. Uther and Clara would have a good view of, like, Adhira seems to be, you know, wrapping her arms around, and like the growth of like Axel's transformation is like shifting down his wrists at this point. Happy to let Adhira try and take care of it.
I'll walk up and crouch down in front of him and just try to get him to focus on his breathing.
Mm-hmm.
Just get him to relax.
Another wisdom save with
Lights
advantage.
over. We're good. No.
You see it like there are moments of like flickering stability as his eyes open and the pupils like widen slit, like as he's like flickering back and forth between control and losing it.
We have all day. We don't have anywhere else to be.
We could make at least like 20 wisdom saving throws with it.
As you're like, we have all day, we don't have anywhere to be. There's like a certain amount of like, are we still in danger pressure that's like starts to melt away a little bit. And you watch as the claws retract and like his breathing becomes more even as for the first time in decades, he manages to partially transform and stop it. As he like sits there like on his knees, breathing, and eventually says, "I'm okay. It's gone, I'm okay."
Look at you.
I'm content where I am.
I'd say that deserves some celebration dinner later when I actually have a kitchen.
He puts one hand on the back of your head, Adhira, and like musses the hair sort of absent-mindedly and says, "Thanks, but dinner will have to wait. There should be something down here that we're looking for. Whatever that thing is, we've killed it, but still no sign of the artifact we're after. It's got to be here somewhere, I hope."
When we are back, I want so many answers from the Academy on what the hell we just encountered.
I'm just disappointed.
Yeah.
I didn't expect much.
I know what you mean. There was a moment where I wondered that maybe it was going to try and be its own thing. That it wasn't what I thought it would be. Granted, it still wasn't, but I was hoping for this to turn out better.
I had the same feeling, but part of me thinks that was maybe what it wanted, to prey on the fact that we might hope for something better.
I shared your hope, just not the willingness to risk it.
I'm going to go upstairs, check in with Sister Sympathy, make sure that the gods are panicking.
Alright. We have some ground to cover. This might take some time. Let's see what we can find.
Well, maybe when I come back I'll bring some candles.
That would be nice.
Yeah, Axel will stand and take like one of the candles that was probably knocked flying during the fight and hold it up to Uther's dagger to light it and sort of start checking around the destroyed furniture and casks in this room at the very least. He says, there are more chambers here as well. Maybe it's safe to spread out now, cover more ground.
You sure?
He nods and says, I only detected one thing with the crystal. I'm pretty confident that was it.
I mean, if we're going in groups, I think it would still be sensible.
Yeah, we should stick.
Just as an aside, do we know what that thing actually was?
No.
Not the finest.
That's why I'm going to ask whoever I can grab back in the academy or in the whatever library on what the hell this was.
Axel says, I have a suspicion, but I'm by no means an expert in the field. I think that was an entity directly created by the Scourge. From the, when it unleashed creatures upon the world and there was an everlasting war between the goddess and the Scourge, I think what it is we fought is one of those things. At this point, Terminus pops out and says, yeah, Axel's right. That was a foot soldier of the Scourge, as it were.
If that was a foot soldier, I'm glad I was not there for the wars.
Yeah, they're unpleasant things.
You fought one before?
One? Yes, more than one.
Your weapon was different.
I know how serious these things can be, and I also know that the blood can have a destabilizing effect. It's funny. I remember other spirits saying that I'm not too different to.
It's fine. Here we go.
I would like to share a single phrase of thought with Terminus in this moment. Memory, not too long ago, in barely a minute, of the ground twisting and reforming into leaves and wood and flowers blooming where there should not be any organic matter. And it is the simple, almost guilty thought of beautiful.
Give me an insight check, Katir.
That one. I saw red.
It's not the image you sent, or like not what Terminus said that he was told he was similar to these things in a sense. But there is a certain amount of shame over the topic of the war, of this conflict that he was a part of in fighting it. There's something there that Terminus, there's like a piece of himself that he's uncomfortable with, and it seems to relate to that. You can tell that, Atira, but other than that.
I think I'm gonna go get some air. It's stuffy down here, and as much as the little one likes to must, I am a different kind of gal.
Terminus says, I'll keep an eye on her if you guys want to stay here and check things out.
Sure.
As Atira leaves and heads up, Axel kind of like tilts his head at the disappearance of the two of them and says, he's an odd spirit, that one. I've talked to a few in my time, but maybe it's the lamp.
Why would the lamp make a difference?
It's filled with rules and obligations and restrictions. In a sense, could be keeping him from acting how he truly wishes to be.
I mean, what we learned today is that what things are at their core, they maybe cannot deny.
I think that's true for some things, but not for us.
I don't know what makes us any more special.
Neither do I, but I don't feel like that's determined for me.
I'm assuming there was a little different intent upon creation.
As like Axel starts like picking up sections of table and looking around the walls, trying to find, like brushing extruded stonework away to see if there's a hidden piece of stone behind it or something like that. As he begins to investigate the room, does anyone else want to look around in one of the other chambers or not?
I have a quick question for this room.
Yeah.
Is there any remains of whatever the fuck that was?
Yeah, I mean, as I described to Clara when Cerberus looks around, there are still fragments of that metal, although it's no longer like a ferrofluid. It looks a little bit like, I can't remember the name of the volcanic rock that I would like to reference.
Obsidian?
It's not obsidian. It's like layered and black, and there are streaks of silver through it. I think it's a very specific word I'm looking for.
I can go through the entire.
Not limestone.
Is it basalt? Because basalt has the white bits. 1 second.
Give me 1 second. I too am observing online.
Smart one of our party. Answer.
I'm sorry. I'm not in real life. I'm not a geologist.
It comes from Vesuvius. I remember that. It's found at Vesuvius.
Feature amongst our party members.
But basically, still, it's like layers of black and silver, and it's like stratified like that. It goes like up and down, and it's jagged as well. But it's fine. Like that's all it needs to be. We don't really need to know what volcanic rock, because it's not. But yeah, it's like this. Like
I'm going to pocket a sample of the metal.
Yeah, absolutely.
See if we can do anything with that later.
Give me an investigation check, Uther.
Okay.
Actually, with advantage, because Cerberus did also already check around, so we'll take that as a help action from what was done before. On that 21, you find 3 like decently sized shards that are splinter like shards that are about the size of your hand, and then you find 1 square block of it, like an actual brick of this metal that got flung off and embedded in like one of the walls that Cerberus has like sniffed out for you, and pulling it free, it's like the size of like red brick, but this solid metal. It's really heavy when you take it, Uther. It's like a really dense piece compared to the shards.
A sick tungsten cube.
Tungsten rectangle.
Moist.
Yeah, I will put that away for later and help someone look around.
Does someone want to give me an investigation check for one of the rooms to look through?
Sure.
Oh.
Clara, you looking through like the space through inside of you, you find lent up in the corner, almost like purposely hidden away, is this tall wooden case that is wrapped in what appears to be like metal bands, and then there are symbols drawn on it that are like almost like spirit warding runes, like something to keep non-corporeal entities from interacting with the box that was stored here. It's a long, tall box as well, thin, like someone would store, like a pool cue, like that kind of size.
Oh,
like
weird.
A staff, you would say.
You could say a staff.
We love a carrying case.
But that is what you find in like the room off to one side. There's another room if people want to look at it, but it does seem like Clara has found what you're there to look for at the very least. At least Axel would confirm that that looks about the right size.
I'd look in the other room. I'm still free, and like Caliban's like cut wound at least superficially is healed. The internals he can deal with himself.
Give me an
investigation
check.
Investigation.
First, I am healed. And then you say, no, he can deal with the internals himself.
First, I healed the skin.
For 1 hit point.
I love.
You can't heal your innards with 1 hit point.
I love the idea that like you seal the internal bleeding in, and you're like blood's on the inside. It's where it needs to be.
The body knows where that goes.
Yeah. It's not coming out anymore, so he's fine.
Perfect.
Looking around, you find something that at first you think is like maybe the front of a sarcophagus, you know, like a big Iron Maiden style sarcophagus. Picking it up though, it appears to be a tower shield, except it looks like it has some of the like fins and extra pieces that come on a surfboard. And as you pick it up, Dafer, there is like a sense of magic that comes from it. It seems to be like a magical tower shield that could be used as like a surfboard as far as you can tell. It's got these like fins poking out of the front. They're almost, you know, like warding spikes, but offset in a way that helps balance it on the water.
I'm going to call you the surf shield.
A fair name, considering the description. Having turned...
How heavy is it picking it up?
It's lighter than you'd expect it to be, Dafer. It's like a thin, bent piece of metal, so it's like concave is the word I'm looking for. So yeah, it's actually not as heavy as you would think. It's still got some weight to it, but...
Mm-hmm.
It's obviously, Dafer, in your head, you're like, oh, wait, yeah, this is designed to float. Like, it's made to displace water, and it's not that heavy.
Well, we can always figure out what this is at a later time. Like, I put this on my back in some way.
Yeah.
Maybe I have a string or something where I can attach it to.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll find something.
And then rejoin the others.
With that, you guys will have, you know, you'll search around a bit more, but that is it when you guys eventually emerge from the place. That seems to all those down here. Adhera, heading up, Sister Sympathy isn't there when you emerge at the top. There's no one else here. You just kind of come out of the space with Terminus with no one else around.
Soak in the silence. Deep breath. Exhale.
Terminus tilts his head and looks up at you and says, "You okay? You sort of lost your composure. I could feel the anger during the fight."
Yeah, that's... I think it turning Clara into a bunch of badgers set off something in me. If there's a word for it, and afraid I don't know what it is, but everything about that situation was painful and bordering on what I know of reality. She struggles trying to find a proper way to convey it before switching back to Lampshade and finding the closest alternative to surreal.
Terminus thinks for a moment and says, I remember the battlefields, very often devoid of ground, a mass of entities colliding, losing sense of which way is up or down, as one moment you're stood upon an ally with an enemy in your hands, and the next moment that ally had been turned to something else. It was a war that I cannot begin to describe to you in a way that you'd probably really understand. I mean, you've brushed up against one of these things and you've seen the chaos that it can create.
He nods, continuing in Lamshi. That would not have been a war for mortal lives.
It's why the goddess created the angels, why they came into being. Mortals were not meant to be engaged with such things. You and your companions did well.
We pulled through. Each of us. Granted, we have an angel on our side apparently, but we did a lot of good work. And her hand is going to reach down and kind of like pet along top of his head affectionately.
Give me a straight charisma check, Atira.
Okie dokie. 16. Do I add a +4 to that, or 1d4?
You had 1d4 to that, yeah.
Yeah, come on, let's go dirty 20. Dirty 20!
20 does make a difference from 16. There is a moment of contemplation, and then he says, "Do you remember the dream you had? The memory you saw of mine?"
She closes her eyes, thinking to something that seems so far away now. On the beach, the sage, she was asking why everyone was fighting each other. Yes?
He nods and says, "It's odd to say, but that's the first time I remember asking that question, or hearing it asked, and then knowing it could be asked. I'm not proud of what happened after that, but I felt fear. For the first time, I realized that I didn't want to do what had to be done. And when everyone else took to the skies for conflict, I stayed behind. I wasn't trapped in this lamp, Atira. I hid in it. I agreed to something because it meant I wouldn't have to go to war anymore. As he says that to you, Atira, you start to hear the approach of your companion's footsteps on the stairway kind of coming up behind you.
She struggles with the information, chewing her lip before putting on the mask and turning and facing it with a smile. Find anything?
I still turned back. Dafer still turned back to the party. I have no idea why anyone would get the idea of turning a shield into a surfboard. Like, what?
What?
Dave is having a moment. He's anti-fun.
What do you mean anti-fun? This thing potentially is supposed to protect your life. What are you doing surfing on it?
Protecting your life from 6 waves.
I mean, you find a good slope. I feel like the shape works. It's not intended, but it's, how you say, functional.
I think Terminus just quietly says sick and then nothing else.
Gnarly.
Are you 50?
The two sisters arrive back here, both Everest and Sympathy.
We have our
Everest,
shells out.
you do indeed have your shells out, I would imagine. I don't, unless someone was very specific about putting away, but I would think you're right.
I also have my arms out.
Through all of that, Adhira, Everest doesn't look at you. She looks at the opening down, and you see recognition that there's no barrier there anymore in her eyes. There's like a certain amount of like shock that's gone. As Sympathy steps forward, she says, I heard the sounds of conflict. I went to the statues out the front just in case, but they didn't seem to move or respond, so is the danger gone?
To the best that we can tell.
She means is yes.
Well, no, I mean to the best that we can tell.
I mean, we have someone that fought them before that confirmed that these are dead.
Terminus looks at you and says, I didn't say they were dead.
It did kind of explode in anguish with a sort of sense of finality, if that's any consideration.
Axel says, I think it was killed with an angel's weapon. I don't think there's any coming back from that myself. And then Sister Sympathy sort of like bows her head, and you hear her mutter, just the edges of a prayer, where she brings her head back up and says, a long time that entity has dwelled down there. I believe that it has done its best to try and seek a way out in all that time. To not have to worry about this anymore is a great weight from our shoulders. Thank you.
Well, it was definitely still seeking a way out right up to the last.
Will you stay again tonight? I would like if we could deliver you more hospitality in reward for what you've done for us.
How are we on time?
Axel says, it'll take us a few days to get back to where we need to be, but honestly, we cleared the initial stage of our mission pretty quickly. I think we've got some leeway. We could stay.
I'd also quite like to. I'd like to check that your groundskeeper is no longer having the dreams.
Insight check, Clara?
Oh, my favorite. 18.
Sister Sympathy looks at you, Clara, in like thanks. She didn't say anything. Everest, her eyes flick to you with like a certain sense of like, I don't like how much you know. There's like this feeling of like discomfort with you, Clara, in that moment as she looks at you. But it very quickly comes back to like a smile.
Sam, you mentioned that Sister Everest looked shocked for a moment that the illusion was no longer there.
Not the illusion,
visible to all of us?
Specifically the barrier.
Yeah. Was that visible to all of us?
Dave, give me an insight check, just in general.
Okay. inside there. No.
You saw shock, but placing where it was directed, Daver, isn't exactly your forte, I would think.
Okay, but it still means she do a shot. But now I don't know whether she shot that off there in the first place.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Well, then I don't have any justification to dig deeper into this.
Axel will look at something and just say, we will take you on your offer. One more day of rest before we get to journeying down the mountain will do us well after such a hard fight. Thank you. You see him pause for a moment before he gestures to the box and the shield and says, these objects were found down there. I know you're already giving us a day of care and food and rest, but I would like these as further, should we say, payment. You see Sympathy consider it, and she says, you have a bottle on you, yes, a sort of swirling liquid within. Axel takes out and says, a fair compromise, I believe. And she nods and says, thank you. And she takes that from him in exchange for the staff and for the shield as well. She says, well, I'll go and arrange for should we say, a more celebratory meal this evening, and make sure that the beds are remade for you and everything is in order. And she looks at Everest and says, come along. And Everest sort of falls to heel, one last look over her shoulder at the opening, and then follows after, leaving you alone.
And I make a very biased insight check.
What are you trying to work out?
If she knew something more about the gate than Sympathy.
Give me an insight check.
Oh, welcome to hell.
Adhira, there's an odd fascination she definitely has with that space, but you're not sure if it's curiosity or if she knew something. Or...
Can I make a second insight check?
About
something different?
Yeah, of course you can.
If Everest were to wake up in the middle of the night or sneak off in the middle of the night to investigate, what time would she choose?
Okay. Yeah. That's a hard one, but...
Yeah, I'll admit, but it's...
15? Last night when you were exploring in your spirit form, you saw that there were certain times that there were lulls in people about. I would say you could place, the witching hour, and then, later on at, 3 in the morning. These are when people are, shifting. I thought the witching hour is between 12 and 1. Am I losing my mind on that? Or...
I may be misremembering something Wicked This Way Comes, but I was 3 a.m. is
So, I'll just say between 12 and 1 a.m. and between 3 and 4 a.m., somewhere in those regions.
The answer, as the witchy expert here, is that it basically there is no one set witching hour. It depends where you look.
That makes sense.
It is vaguely the hours between midnight and 4 a.m.
Okay, so then we covered it all.
That's so many hours.
I know.
Whenever
so it just
you
depends
do the
where
witching
you look
is
as
the
to
witching
which one
hour.
of those 4 hours it could be.
I think we've discovered that it's always witching time. Yeah. If it's noon...
hours are 4 ahead in time.
If it's 5 o'clock somewhere always, it's definitely somewhere between midnight and 4 a.m. everywhere always.
Hate this.
Just blame melatonin.
Uh,
This is unironic. That's not a throwaway comment, by the way. That's actually the reason why the witching hour exists.
Oh, that's right. It's something natural produced by the body. It's called the dark hormone or something.
Yeah, it's because your body in general, based on when most people sleep, melatonin peaks between midnight and 3 a.m.
Gotcha.
Depending on when people go to bed. So that's the hours in which people most report supernatural occurrences.
Interesting.
The more you know.
Do you guys want to head back to, like, the dorm area? Do you want to look around this place more? Is there anything in particular people would like to do? I think
had a
I'll go to
thing
the
that I
dorm
was.
area and put stuff up.
I think Axel would say to Clara as well, we should open the box, check that, you know, what we came here for is actually in there. I think it will be, but...
I agree. How do we get this open?
Violence.
It looks like it's, I don't know, maybe we could pry it open with something. Uther, do you bring a crowbar with you?
Starts digging through bag for something to use as a crowbar.
Yeah.
Why do I feel like we actually definitely had one and we used one in the past, or is that me imagining things?
I think a crowbar has been used in the past. It's like, we should do this in our... Well, actually, no one else is down here. Maybe this is more private than the dormitory. Yeah, let's do it here before everyone else comes.
Epic.
And he, like,
Is
kneels...
it magically locked or just, like, nailed shut?
Can you give me an arcana,
Let's
Uther?
take a look. Yeah, I support you. Were runes involved, so maybe it's runically locked. Maybe I can help there.
From what the two of you work out, it's magically locked, but not from corporeal beings like you. Like, Adhira in her spirit form definitely couldn't pass through the wood, and that entity that was down there probably couldn't interact with it whatsoever. On a 27, Uther, that means that the person who stored that down there knew they'd be storing it with that thing. That was like, that was planned.
I really hope that... What was the name of dude who sent us down here again? That had the...
Oh, Elias?
Yeah, I really hope that Elias was not aware that it was a chance, because if he was, I'm annoyed.
I'm so confused at the order of operations that have occurred for this entire scenario to happen.
I don't think Elias is that kind of man. He seems nice. I know bad people, and I don't think he would have sent us against that thing unknowingly.
Well, that's not what I
without
meant.
word of warning.
Whatever this staff is like a very powerful object, apparently.
I bet he knows
Why
more
was it-
about that than he lets on, I will say.
Why was it hidden? Because they made it to where the creature down there couldn't interact with the box at all. And no one could get to the box without dealing with the creature. So someone...
It's security.
Why?
Yeah, Axel thinks through it. It's like, that's intense security. I mean, there's a lot of ways you can lock things up. Why? As you guys are like debating it, prying it open, inside, as you like open it up, there's like a burst of light that comes out of the box. Inside is a staff of like pure quartz, and then hovering over the tip of it is like another almost like playing card diamond, but three-dimensional quartz crystal that like hovers over the head, and then trapped inside, about the size of, you know, like a marble, but not the small one, like the bigger marbles. It's about that big, and it is like a actual like plasma ball with little sunbursts, you know, like the like little bursts of plasma that kind of arch up and out as it sits in the head of this crystal staff and just kind of like hovers at the end of it. Once the intense light flares up briefly, it then like simmers back down, and it's like a little plasma ball making like a little bit of light, but not a lot.
So question. So the staff itself is made of quartz crystal?
Yes.
And at its tip, we have a diamond.
No, it's another crystal. It's another quartz crystal. It is diamond in shape, like a playing card's diamond.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, Axel will look at it and go, that sounds about right. That looks more like what was described to me. And Elias didn't mention anything about a staircase or an entity. He just mentioned the vault. I don't know. I also would like to trust him. I don't think he thought that was down there, or maybe even knew.
I'm not suggesting that someone sent us here to get God. I'm confused at whoever hid this originally. What were they hiding it from that they decided that was the security measure they were going to use?
Axel thinks for a moment. It's like, maybe that entity would have been willing to answer that question before things fell apart, but I didn't have the wherewithal to think about it.
Now, I would suggest we put this away out of any kind of sight before somebody sees it and decides they want it.
Yeah, Axel reseals the box and knocks the nails back in with the crowbar before handing it back to you, Uther.
Starts packing up his bag again.
Yeah, I mean, does anyone have anything more they want to do here, or just wait until the meal that evening? Just pass some time resting?
I think resting would go a long way after the experience we just had.
You guys all level up.
Woo!
I would like to go backtrack to where that giant was at some point, though.
Yeah, absolutely, Uther.
Is that die value?
No, you roll and then you slowly get that towards that. Unless you're Caliban, in which case you just roll the full hit die value anyway.
55. Halfway there.
Whoa.
Oh yeah, also I'm level 6 and a fighter, which means I get another feat.
Yep.
Oh!
So I could take it. So under this rule system, I could take an ability score and a feat.
Yeah, I think that is what we decided. It's been a while, I'll admit, but that sounds right to me.
You and your noble blood.
I think I am going to take resilient and dexterity.
Mm-hmm. He's a dodgy
so it
boy.
It increases set ability score by 1.
Yep.
And also gives me saving throws in that.
Yep.
Proficiency in saving throws.
That is correct. That's resilient.
Oh, and I get the spirit field, which is gonna be really nice. Can reaction reduce damage by 2d6 now?
Mm-hmm.
It's Rogue 6. Rogue 6 is expertise.
Ooh. That is
what do I want to be stupid good at?
Hello, Uther, and you're plus 300. Hello, Clara, and you're plus 500.
Oh yeah, I also increased my constitution.
Oh yeah, big upgrades.
And I am level 6, so let me just bump that up to 78 HP.
No, don't be too hasty. We're not talking big upgrades. We're talking partial upgrades for the barbarian. Let's not overstate it.
Look, don't get jealous of my big HP.
He says to the barbarian.
That has, at this point, 95.
Uther, was there anything particular you wanted to do at the giant while people are considering level up stuff? Was there any... You just taking a look at him?
Just want to see him.
Mm-hmm.
Just see if I can figure out anything maybe who he might have been at some point, if there's any I don't know, like name cards for like, oh hi, this is so and so that they've been under for X amount of time, kind of stuff.
Yeah, give me I think a history check with advantage if you're going to spend some time just hanging out.
Give me 1 second. I was in a different tab.
Of course.
Oh,
with advantage as well, and your D4 too. Nice. That doesn't include the D4 too. You can still go higher. 26. Studying the giant, you are able to work out on a 26. This individual was most definitely like a mason or an architect. Still has some tools to that regard on their person, you know, like clipped at the waist in a like, I would never be without these kind of feeling to it. Mm-hmm. You don't find like a name tag or anything like that, but there is a tattoo on the back of one of their arms that spells a name in giant, which is Hruthanir, which I put in the chat. You're not sure if it's this individual's name or, you know, like they got their partner's name tattooed on them, or, you know, it could be anything like that, but that is a name that is on the body. On a 26, that name doesn't really mean anything to you.
Mm-hmm. But it's somewhere to start.
It is somewhere to start. Looking at the individual, it's you know, it's hard to tell how old they are. But what you realize, Uther, is like giants are either immortal or long-lived. Like this guy has been in this position maybe since the disappearance of the goddess. Like, so, you know, they're at least 1,000+ years old, something like that, you would say. Yeah, I don't know if there's anything more you'd want to try and work out, Uther, or if that would be enough for you, if you had any specific questions.
No, I think that would be it. I may wander back to the crystal mirror configuration, like look at that some, but other than that, I'm just going to kind of just be lingering around.
Okay, just investigating a little more.
Taking notes. Yeah, just taking notes on stuff.
Otherwise, people are resting and just getting some break before the meal that evening.
Yes, I would have a mechanical question for you.
Yeah, Dave, hit me.
I now have the Spirit Shield / Reflavored Runic Shield ability.
Mm-hmm.
This basically allows me, as a reaction, to reduce any damage, any instance of damage that I see within 30 feet of me via a reaction.
Yeah.
Does that mean in the combination of Warding Bond and this, that this applies before or after Warding Bond?
So, Warding Bond says the damage taken by Warding Bond can't be reduced by any other means. Therefore, it must happen beforehand.
Okay. Okay, so basically, like 40 damage hit Adhira, I trigger this, so that reduces the damage, and that is then split up.
I would agree to that, yeah. Especially since I always think of reactions as being a higher speed than everything else. Like, reactions are interruptions. So, yeah, I would say that reactions tend to come first.
Okay.
But I think that's a good place for us to leave off with you guys having leveled up. Uther doing some poking around, but otherwise you guys are just getting some rest in before a nice celebratory meal at the, well, I'm supposed to call it a monastery, but that's pretty close to true. And we'll leave there for this week.